all righty.
Aggravating.
Okay. All right. Mr. James, welcome, sir.
Good afternoon. I've only got about a half an hour here.
Okay.
This is my Z6 now running for the camera here.
Okay.
Much better than the webcam.
My issue is I can't hear anything.
Wait a minute. You all hear that still in the background?
Yes.
For the life of me, I can't figure out why. Okay, maybe it's done now. All right. All right. Sorry about that, folks. Glad everybody decided to jump in here. It's been a big week. We're all waiting for the next camera from Nikon. The Z8 is what I expect, and I know I've seen a lot of comments talking about what it needs to be. It still could be, I guess, the Z7 III that brings the autofocus to the forefront. And I saw somebody talking about the fact that we need to get the same autofocus down in all of the models that come out now, all the way down to the Z5. And I would agree with that. There's a lot of controversy over whether Nikon's going to release all that, whether they'll do that and cripple the sales of the Z9. I think the Z9 has pretty much reached its zenith right now. A lot of people are saying, why would I buy a Z9 if I can buy a Z8? Well, you have to be in the market for a flagship camera to begin with. But there are a lot of people right now. It's not going to sabotage the Z9 if they drop a Z8 with pretty much the same capabilities. That's what we need right now. And I don't know what you guys think. It's not going to be an exact Z9 copy, but it has to have the autofocus and a lot of the video capabilities. Obviously, there are going to be some physical restrictions or problems. We can't always get what we want in a smaller body, battery life and things like that, overheating and everything. So I'm just throwing it out here real quick, get it going, and let you guys know what I'm thinking right now. And with the recent switch by our buddy Bayou Josh, and I'm not picking on Bayou Josh at all. He gets to make his own decisions of what he thinks works best for him. But it does, bring about a question: is the issue with the autofocus in the Z9 and even the Z7 II, Z6 II, is it all about birding? Is that the big issue in the autofocus? Because it seems to do fine with everything that I've been shooting as far as people, vehicles, and things like that. So is the big issue just in birding? And I want you guys to jump in and help me figure this out so we can let Nikon know what we think right now. Nikon has been silent. I've been over in the Nikon rumors. I've been on the Nikon group pages on Facebook, and a lot of people are complaining not about necessarily the next camera, but other issues with communication with Nikon. That's not old news. That seems to be a common theme. One or two people get a response or can communicate with Nikon USA in our case here in the States, but everybody else is left in the dark. No responses to emails, no responses to phone calls, and things like that. What is going on with Nikon USA? Is it just one or two people are on the hit list to be able to talk to Nikon and sort out some of these issues, or what's going on with that? So, same problem Nikon's had for a while: no communication with their customers, and right now, the big issue is, can Nikon continue down this path of waiting forever to launch a new camera? Canon just announced the R7. Yes, I know it's APS-C, but Nikon has the upper hand here. They can basically take out of the Z9, which they already have products and components, and just build a smaller body. It could be the Z7 III body, in my opinion. So I just threw a lot at you. What do you guys think? Let's get it going.
Yeah, there's definitely lots to talk about, Chuck. The one point is the autofocus. I mean, I think action and birding yeah, the Z9 really stepped up the game there. With my Z6, I couldn't keep up with birds in flight, but now moving to the Z9, big improvement there. But it's about the need, like you said. If you need that high end, do it all weather, everything pro body, that's what you're going to get in the Z9. But in the Z6, Z7 series, maybe you're not shooting action and birds in flight, but Nikon's got to get that middle ground with something, an improved
You,
Z7 or maybe that Z8.
you're absolutely right, but the issue is autofocus is what's selling cameras, and that's something a
Right.
lot of people don't understand. And they say, "I don't care, I don't need it." The Z6, the original Z7 original, or Z62, Z72 fit my needs. I get that. But guess what? You're not going to get a whole lot more if Nikon doesn't get off their butt, because Nikon is going to lose even more market share. Why is that important to me? Because that is Nikon's future. All right. Nikon is full of stodgy old people like me that are in here, and a lot of people that say they don't care about video, they don't care about anything, they just want stills. But even on the stodgy old timer side, everybody wants the same AF capabilities that are out there in the other cameras. I'm not going to argue with people over whether the A1 is better at birds or not. I I've had my struggles with the autofocus with birds too. I don't know because I haven't shot the A1, but if you've shot both cameras and you feel like the A1 is better for birding or whatever, it's a shame that birding has become the symbol for excellence in cameras. But I don't know. But that is a big issue when it comes to talk, especially with all the talking heads on YouTube. So again, Nikon needs to fix that, and they need to fill the gap that the R5 fills, that the A7 IV fills. Do something about it so that people that can't afford a flagship or don't want a big body can move into. And it also shows that Nikon is listening to the customers rather and the need, the market, rather than themselves. So Nikon USA, if you guys are listening, I hope you are. This is one of the things you need to communicate with us about. We need to know what your plans are, what's going on. You need to let all those know that are hanging around, waiting. It's only us absolute Nikon fans that love the equipment that are willing to wait for the next camera body or the next lens. You've done a fantastic job with the telephoto and super telephoto lenses, but now it's time for that body. We need that body, and we need it now as a group, as a Nikon group. And Stu, I talked to Josh the other day. I have absolutely no issue with him switching. I listened to what he had to say, and I think he's absolutely right in what works for him, and that's going to be everybody's taste. The problem is that Nikon might have been able to prevent it, and that's the reason I bring Josh up, because he had some communication problems with Nikon as well. So Nikon, here you go. Talking about people aren't going to switch systems. Well, here's one that did it. So it's your move, Nikon. Let's hear what you have to say. All right,
So
let me
real
get in
quick,
here.
Chuck, the AF system has to trickle down to the other cameras, and if they can't improve the Z6 and Z7 because of the speed, then they've got to do something
Yeah,
fast.
you're exactly right. And again, it all boils down to autofocus. There are people again that say that isn't a big deal. Well, if it's not a big deal to you, then just sit back and be quiet. Let us do the bargaining with Nikon for you, okay? But don't try to fool the world and say it's not important. It is important. Vahagan just put out a video on some talking about surfers or shooting excuse me, shooting some surfers. I think it's a fantastic video. However, Nikon doesn't have a problem when it comes to large objects or humans or, again, vehicles or whatever. It's only when we get into the small things or erratic movement or birds that are sitting in, and this may sound trivial, and it really is, but guess what? This is what's selling cameras, folks, because they're the most vocal people right now talking about the Nikon Z9. As funny as it may sound to some, this is what sells cameras. And if you're an industry producing a product, you have to move towards what the end or what the consumer wants. And if the consumer is believing all the hype that's coming out, the negative attention on the Z9, well, guess what? It's time to make your move and do something about it. All right. That said, we won't see an update probably on the Z9 and the autofocus anytime soon. And Nikon has to be working on the algorithm, and that's where it lies. It's in the algorithm, no doubt about that. And maybe we'll get something in the near future. You got all the parts you need to produce the next camera, though, that's going to fill that gap. And that's what everybody's waiting on. So the Z8, what do you want to see in the Z8, folks? And when do you want to see it? I want to know about it now. There are two bodies they have registered. The question is when are we going to find out what they are? When are they going to release that information, or at least release some rumors? Could it be a Z8? Could it be an APS-C camera? I'm a little bit afraid now, since I've seen that Canon is dropping the R7. Canon hasn't done an official announcement right now. However, there are some solid rumors out there, and a few of the YouTubers are already talking about it. They're confident that this is going to happen. Could Nikon be doing the same? Is Nikon going to go down the route of an APS-C, which will suit a few people, but it's not going to suit the mass market? So, all right, I've said a lot again. I'm going to try to get into some of the comments and let you guys speak. The phone line is open. If you guys want to call in, let me find it here. There's the call line. If you guys want to call in, I'd love to hear from you. Let's see, Long Rider, who is a Sony shooter, he says that he thinks Nikon needs to have at least one other choice for people who want to shoot things, but that move fast, that cost under $4,000. I agree 100%, Long Rider, and I'm glad that a Sony shooter is willing to make that statement as well. Oh,
Agreed. If other companies are doing it, Nikon needs to catch up and make the options available, even for a $2,000 camera, all the way up to the $6,000. There's got to be something in there that has a lot of the tech, but not the overall pro body stuff. So that's what people want, right? That's why Sony makes
absolutely
cameras. They make a lot of cameras.
Yep, absolutely. I'm looking over here real quick. I gotta send. I didn't send this or what? All right, Tay. Try it again. It's coming to you, Tay, if you want to join. Sorry about that, folks. And here you go. I'm going to get rid of the phone line. If you want it, write it down real quick, just in case you want to call. That's 475-256-2694. That's the live in-studio phone. You can call and share your opinions or comments or whatever. So here's a comment. I didn't catch yours, Jesprit, but Jeff and Leslie talking about currently seriously looking at the A7 IV. I don't want to move from Nikon, but brand loyalty is not one of my virtues. Absolutely. Here, just one more testament. Yeah, I know a lot of people say these things and they don't actually move, but now that we've seen somebody do it, that's a member in our community here, it's time for Nikon to step up to the plate and tell us what they're going to do about it.
I totally agree with Long Rider. The 850 and the D500 are still absolutely amazing cameras, and they need to upgrade those bodies to the new Z format and the new Z lenses.
Yes.
For those that can afford them. Neither one of those is a D5 or D6 replacement or upgrade. It's got to be the Z9, or there's two missing cameras then. Where's the D850 replacement and the D500 replacement?
A lot of people are going to say that the Z7 III or Z7 II is the D850 replacement. Tay Keys, how you doing, sir?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm on a rant today. I got so much to talk about, and I'm trying to keep up with comments because I want everybody to share what's going on in their thoughts. Not just AF, but the other features like internal 10-bit, 12-bit video. Absolutely, I agree with that. And here we go. This is why Nikon eats itself. The Nikon community, we eat ourselves. We beat ourselves to death because we've got people that still don't want anything to do with video. They don't want it in cameras or anything else. They don't care about it. And they think, well, why should I get in this fight? Well, because that's the only way you're going to get cameras nowadays. You know, whether you use it or not, it needs to be there for those that want to use it. And that was one of Josh's issues, was no 10-bit internal in the Z6 II, Z7 II. Okay, I get that. That's a valid complaint. So again, Nikon, what are you going to do about it? Are we just going to continue to lose people because video is as big as the autofocus now? Um, Man, it's hard to get off that stump once I get going. Uh, let's see. RS says the tele lenses aren't any good if you can't buy them. Well, I know that everybody is struggling. All brands are struggling with getting products to the market. It is getting a little better, but there's no reason that we can't talk or they can't talk about what's coming. You know, let everybody know. Take some of the fear out of their minds that we're just being left in the dust while everybody moves forward, all other brands.
RS makes a good argument. You know, you need the fast body, but then if you can't get options or the long lenses are way too expensive, you're stuck.
Well, the expense is the tough one, and Nikon's probably done more to help out than anybody with that new 800 PF. You're not going to find a super
Exactly.
telephoto like that at that price with any of the other manufacturers. The 1 to 400 is a good lens. Is it expensive? You know, folks, we gotta quit worrying about or talking about, well, $2,500 is too expensive. If you're buying a Z9 or a
Yep.
Z8 when it comes out, and you can't afford $2,500, and I hate to say it this way, for a lens that will support that camera and what you want to shoot, then I
Yep.
don't know what to tell you. Lenses are not going to get so cheap that they're
Yep.
giving them away. It's not going to
Yep.
happen. I know
You buy a
everybody's waiting
Z8
for
gonna
the
be
4W.
2 to
2,500.
600.
Yep.
Go ahead, Tay.
I said the Z8 gonna be 2,500.
The Z8 2500,
Yep.
Yep.
I'm thinking probably 35 to 38.
Yeah,
I
somewhere in the
think
middle.
so. Yeah. I think it's going to be priced in there, which will be cheaper than, but then you're always going to have people that say it's too expensive. I get that. You know, what hobby isn't expensive?
Yep.
You know, go collect cars. You want to talk about expensive? Go collect
Right.
motorcycles or whatever, watches or whatever it is you collect.
Right.
You know,
If you want,
nobody's busting your chops because
yep.
you'll spend $4,000 for a gold watch or a Submariner Rolex, but yet you'll jump on a manufacturer for charging a decent price for a lens, which is another thing I want to throw in here too. I think they've done a great job with the telephoto and super telephoto line, other than everybody is waiting on the 2 to 600. Why are they waiting on it? Because it goes out to 600 millimeter and it should be a lot cheaper. And I
Yep.
understand that. So I hope that lens is announced pretty soon. That'll take some of the heat off of them. But what about other lenses? Do we have enough? Are wedding shooters happy with the primes and zooms that we have right now? If not, is that holding anybody back? Is that keeping anybody from investing in the mirrorless line with Nikon? I don't think so, but you guys can tell me.
I think the third party lens is more better than the regular lens.
Yeah,
What
but
I think.
what do we have third party autofocus? Since let's face it, everybody wants autofocus.
Well, you got the Viltrox lens that autofocus.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay. I haven't played with it, Tay, so I can't speak
I
to it,
love it.
man.
I
Okay.
love it. Well, for Fuji, I love it.
Okay, for Fuji.
Yeah,
Do we have the autofocus version with Nikon mount? The
yeah.
Z mount?
The big
They
names.
got the autofocus with
Viltrox.
Nikon, cause yeah, Viltrox, cause I used the 24 for his videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty dope.
Okay.
That's the only lens. I mean, Fuji lens is good, but I think I love my 85 better than I do my like the 55 to 200 lens for Fuji.
Okay.
Yeah, Chuck, I would say we're spoiled with technology. Everybody thinks a cell phone can take the best picture in the world, or a basic camera can get you a picture that a professional took for a magazine. If you want to get up to that level, that caliber of equipment, you need that high-end stuff because that's where it is. Those 600 f4s are built that way because they will get you that picture.
Right.
So
No, you're absolutely right. You're paying
right,
for glass manufacturing in those
right,
and coatings on those lenses, and they're not going to be cheap. That's just the way it goes. Again,
right.
not a cheap hobby when you move into the upper echelon of what's available.
And you said if you can afford a Z9, you got to afford everything else that comes with it. Batteries are $200. Lenses are
Yes.
thousands and thousands of dollars. You can't expect to have something cheap at that caliber of equipment.
And I'll say this isn't just going on in the camera market. This is in every segment of the market. You always have people complaining, "Why can't I buy a Maserati for $30,000?" Well, think about it. Why can't I buy a Ferrari for a family car that's under $50,000? I mean, come on, people. This is where there's been a big attack on rich people. Well, they're not giving their money away, and corporations aren't going to go broke just so you're happy with the price of whatever you're buying. Okay. There's a cost to everything, and you're just going to have to pay it. So I understand that, being a new shooter coming into the market, you're looking for the cheapest but the best. Well, those two are hard to put together, cheap and great. You get what you pay for. And just like you were saying, James, everything, all the accoutrements, all the accessories that go along with any camera, it costs money. But you get something for your money. And a lot of people just don't feel like they're getting their money's worth, I guess. They want it for nothing. Not going to happen.
Well, they're probably buying stuff that they don't really need either. I mean, they want something expensive. It's got the name on it, but then what do you really need that camera for? Don't overbuy either.
No, you're absolutely right. Wanting the best of the best just to say you have it. If you
Right,
can't afford it, then don't complain.
right. There isn't a
Sorry, I'm on.
camera out there now that cannot take a great still picture. You know?
No, you're absolutely right. And here's another issue we have, and the gray hairs like me. You go to Grays of Westminster. I watched their live stream last week, and it was all about everybody in the chat was all about old cameras. Well, Grays handles a lot of vintage Nikon equipment, and I think that's great. But I wanted to know what the average age was in the chat room there. These are the people that are complaining. They don't care if Nikon ever produces another DSLR or even another mirrorless camera or any video in any camera. They don't care about that. And I understand it, but don't complain that Nikon does it. That's the problem we have is too many people they don't want it. They're not willing to fight for it and everything else. See what Jeff says over here. Sorry, I'm way behind on the comments. You guys are doing a great job. I can't put the number up there and have comments up at the same time. Since you asked Z8, ask 30 to 50 megapixel sensor, 15 to 20 silent or mechanical. Okay, that's whatever. That's interesting. Decent EVF, ability to save user settings, U1, U2, U3, AF almost as good as Flagship. I like flip screens. Okay. I'm not going to go into the flip screen battle. I can't see the flip screen from 6 feet away, even with my glasses on, so it really doesn't do me any good. The flip screen, it doesn't bother me that it won't have it, or even if it does have it, that's okay. I'll I'd still buy it anyway. So why am I fighting for a Z8? Is it because I'm a petulant child and impatient? No. I've got a Z9, but I'd like to have a Z8 as a second body, and then I'm getting rid of every other camera because that will cover everything that I ever want to shoot in any event or any other niche in photography.
Hey, Chuck, so I'm going to
Turn your
drop
stuff
off,
in
but
for the
I'll
Z8.
stay on the chat.
Okay. All right. Thanks, James, for joining.
Yep. Hey, the camera's working great.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, it is. Now get a microphone.
I got a mic. Okay.
All right, brother.
Yep. We'll see you next time. I'll be on
All
the
right.
chat.
All right. Thanks, man. Just you and I. Tay, you need to turn that camera down a little bit or something, or you look like you're sitting in a hole. I have no audio on you now.
Can you hear me?
There you go. I hear you now.
Okay, I had it on mute. I'm in the hospital.
Oh, okay, okay. All right,
Yeah.
man.
So
Everything
yeah,
okay?
everything okay. Just with my son and my wife.
Okay.
So are you gonna trade in with a Z8? Or are you gonna trade all your cameras in? Like you got the Z6 II?
No, I'm going to
Or you
keep
gonna
all my mirrorless, and
okay?
I'll probably let go of my D850 and my D500 and
Oh,
most of my F mount glass.
okay. I would, so I know. Well, I know Fuji. They summit is the 30 or 31st, and I was thinking about trading my T3 and T1 in for that
Yeah.
because it's gonna basically be 40 megapixels. So and then it's gonna be 10 bit. It is gonna be like 4K video. So it's basically gonna be like the same thing T3, T4, but it's gonna have different. Say it's gonna have memory card A type A, and then have flipping screen. So I was thinking about trading both of my cameras in for that because I
Mhm.
really don't need the T3 and T1 if the H2 gonna have the same thing. And plus, I might trade in some of my lenses,
Yeah.
Fuji, because like my Viltrox lens do the same thing.
Well, that's just it. If you don't need duplication in lenses, especially if
Mm-hmm.
you only have one camera body, then yeah, why duplicate everything? That's
Mm-hmm.
good. That's good sense. Yeah, I agree with
Yeah.
you. If you're using two cameras, and I actually have three, I need. I say I need. Ha, I want three cameras always
Yeah.
because one I leave running, leave set up for the stream. That's one
Mm-hmm.
body. And then when I go out and shoot, I like to carry two bodies because I want two different focal lengths
Yeah.
at a just a hand's reach rather than having to change lenses. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's me. And again, it goes back to what everybody, wants or needs. And, I'm prepared to pay for that. I
Mm-hmm.
know it's not free. I know it's not cheap, but I'm prepared to save up, save my pennies, and sell glass and other DSLRs or whatever to get what I want. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
complaining about the prices, especially here lately with Nikon. They've been knocking it out of the park on prices.
Mm-hmm.
But now we need, a camera to fend off the mass exodus from Nikon because Nikon won't look at what the competitors are doing. I say that tongue in cheek. Of course they do. But, we need the competitor for the R5 and the A7 IV and the A7 III for that matter. There's still a lot of folks that are shooting the A7 III and still buying it. So, point is that this is another opportunity for Nikon to show everybody that they are part of the crowd, the younger generation or the video generation, and they want to compete. You can't. They're not going to. They'll never last with us gray hairs buying equipment because we're not going to be around, a long time. And what do they do
Mm-hmm.
when the gray hair generation is gone? So, and I'm
Yeah.
not
It
trying to
seems like
kill
a lot of
anybody off.
right. It seems like a lot of people switching though, leaving Nikon to go to Sony
Yeah.
and other stuff, other cameras. Uh,
Um, I'm skipping a bunch of comments, folks. I've got to get down here to find out what's going on with you all. I hate
yeah,
to leave you guys out of the
but I
chat.
know, but I know Charles said he want to get he want to test out the Viltrox lens for Nikon. You
Yeah.
need to go ahead. Try it. It's dope. It's nice. If you
Yeah.
look at Ike stuff, it's nice.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, been watching Ike. Ike's one of the few creators out there that's really trying his best to, show the capabilities,
Yeah,
especially of the Z9. The
yeah.
video he just dropped, the photo
Mm-hmm.
shoot
With the
at the
mm-hmm.
college and in the library there, and then the
Mm-hmm.
video footage that he did in N-Log looks
Yeah,
fantastic.
that's
And how
all with the
many
Viltrox lens though. With the 24 for video though, that's all he
Yeah.
used right there.
Well, regardless of the lens, the camera itself,
Mm-hmm.
how
It's the
many how
top of the
many,
line too.
youngsters can look at that and say, "Hey, that's great," but they're not going to buy the Z9, which is again why we need that intermediate body in there.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to opt for an A7 IV or a R5. Well,
Mm-hmm.
maybe not the R5. It is a little more expensive. I can't remember the
Oh, you
price
welcome,
on it.
Chuck. I mean, you welcome, Charles. Yeah, man. Just let me know how they go.
Yeah.
I would say
Let's
get
see.
the 24 charge and test that out.
24 or what?
Yeah.
There you go, David Stewart. I want a $3,000 Leica with lens.
That's good camera too now.
Yeah. Well, nobody complains about it because they know that's the
No.
price. You know, you get what you pay
You
for.
pay for it. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So why do we do that with the other manufacturers? We're just hoping one of them's going to go stupid and start giving cameras and lenses away. Let's see. Yeah, $2,500. There you go. So you can grab an A7 IV, and here you go, people. Get ready. Start throwing knives at me right now and shooting at me right now. You can get an A7 IV that does a considerable amount of what the Z9 does. Is that a good deal? Is that a good thing? Man, Nikon, you got to step it up. We've got to know something here. I can't.
That's what.
I can't convince people to go to Nikon anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what am I going to tell them? Go buy a $6,500 camera?
Or you tell them they can go to Fuji.
Yeah. Yeah. I like Fuji's colors, but I'm going to stick with Nikon right now for as long as I can. I'm not saying I'm going to jump ship or whatever. I'm not, at least at this moment. Let's see. Jaspreet. I always like Jaspreet. He's on the video side too. Okay, Nikon Z6 III, not with the Sony 33, but a 35 megapixel stacked sensor. Get rid of the $400 mechanical shutter, Z9 AF plus 6K 60 and 4K 120 in RAW, and you have a winner. Okay, I'll go along with that. I have no idea what the specs are going to be, but you know, I would go along with that. And make that the true hybrid for those that are entering the market and want to jump on a very capable camera that they can start making content with. I'm in with that, Jaspreet. And then drop that gigantic megapixel sensor in the Z7 III and make it the portrait and landscape king for all those that want 120 megabit files. I'm with that too. And then you can choose where do you want to go? What do you want? And then have the Z8 set as the lower price sports shooter's camera. Maybe not quite as competent as the Flagship, but pretty daggone close. All right.
It's charged with the ain't though he got the ball head.
Yeah.
That's the one with the ball. Okay. I want to make sure.
Here we go. The flip screens. Ever try to shoot a macro shot of a 6-inch tall wildflower in portrait mode? Flip screen comes in very handy. Well, you know, just put the same screen they have on the Z9 on it. The only thing I don't like about here's my problem with the flip screen. One, I'm not going to use it the way the argument goes. You know, I want to be able to see what I'm doing when I'm vlogging or whatever. I can't see that little screen anyway. So maybe that's just me. And I'm not going to talk about the survivability of a flip screen because there are enough of them out there now. Even though there are some problems, some people have had some problems with their flip screen. I'm not going to count that as an issue and a reason to not have it. What I don't like is I have to have that screen out to the side to look, you know, to rotate it up for overhead shots or same for low angle shots. I want to just be able to flip it up where it is and keep it in line with the sensor. That's just me. It's a personal preference, and that's what I have against the flippy screen. If they can make a flippy screen, which they can't unless they put a big crazy bracket on there to hold it, that I could flip that up right where it is instead of having to move it to the side, I'd be happy with that. So that's my issue with a flippy screen. However, I'm not going to, you know, if Nikon were to decide to put that on the Z8, well, so be it. That's one of the things I'd have to live with.
Do the Z9 got the flippy screen?
A flippy, no.
Oh, okay.
It articulates up, down, and
Okay.
even in portrait mode, you can raise the screen so you can see it from above.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah, you don't have to flip it out to the side to do any of that.
Okay. Well, the Z8 might do that.
Yeah, I think the Z8 will probably have the same thing on it, but I know that, everybody wants the flippy screen, so maybe that's going to come out in the Z6 II, or Z6 III, Z7 III or something. But again, if they put it in the Z8, that's not a showstopper for me. I just don't like it. Let's see. Keep going. Oh, look who's here. How you doing, Briar? Good to see you, man. Let's see. I have all I need for weddings, but it will be great to have another superior AF cam other than the Z9. Yeah, brother. I think a lot of people would like to have that second body that does pretty much the same thing that the Z9 does. And not just that. That's not just for Z9 owners. That would be maybe a Z9 owner's desire, is to have that second body. But it's just for all those people that don't want the large body, the flagship type body, and they want something cheaper. Well, Nikon's in a quandary because they've got to give people the AF that they want. And if it rivals the Z9, well, so be it. That's just the way it is. Other capabilities within the camera. How do they cripple the Z8 so that, because everybody's complaining that it'll eat up the Z9 sales? I disagree. Flagships have sold forever. And I go back to D3S and D700, that it didn't kill the D3S with the D700. So it's buy what you can afford and quit crippling everything. There will be enough. There's enough real estate on the full body or large body cameras, the flagships, for additional function buttons and things like that, which makes for ease of use. And the battery life is another reason to have a flagship. And I mean, there's just multiple reasons to have a flagship over a smaller body camera. So the D850 didn't kill the D5 and D6 sales. So come on, Nikon. You need to fill that gap.
How much the
No.
Z9?
I'm sorry?
How much the Z9?
Shoot, $5,500. $1,000 cheaper than the older flagships. And
Oh, okay. It's still that price, or it went down some?
no, it's still at that price. I don't see it
Okay.
going down.
Okay.
There you go. And I agree with this, Jaspreet. Z8 with the Z9 sensor and AF, 8K in RAW, even
just about
60
to say
frames
that.
with recording limit, and you have an R5 competitor. Yeah, it has to have 8K. They're going to have to match the video capabilities in the R5. I agree, and the A7 IV, no doubt about it. But it's cheap for them to make because they already have the sensors, producing those sensors. They already are producing the processor, the XP 7. So it's just a matter of putting it all together in a smaller body and giving us that camera. So I don't know what Nikon will do, but it has to compete with the others. Trying to scroll down here. It's hard to keep up with you guys, man. You're on it. A lot of discussion going on over here in the chat. I wish I could keep up with it all.
You seen David Stewart got said, I think that the Nikon made a mistake with the Z9 price. You see that one?
Yeah, Nikon stay with the Z9 price. You mean the Z9 price will stay the same?
Yeah, you see that one, David Stewart. He said, I think that the Nikon made a mistake with the Z9 price. If it was 1K higher, the sale would be less. And then they would have the manufacturing space of the Z8 for a Z8.
Yeah, well, we said that when the Z9 was announced and the price was announced, that it was definitely going to be a camera that people would stretch their budget to buy, even though everybody said no. Well, How can you say no? That's a stupid statement to make, because obviously people did that. They thought, well, you know what? For another couple of grand, I'm going to splurge and I'm going to get the Z9. And they did. But there are a lot of people that can't do that, couldn't push their budget any higher. And they're all waiting for that mid-level camera, just under the Flagship, but above the others, the Z8. Well, I keep calling it the Z8. I don't know what they'll do with the Z8. Hopefully,
Then Jeff and Lizzie said series, I think the Z9 minus the grip coming in at half price, using the most of the same internal firmware, would easily sell five times as many units as the Z9. You see that one?
no. I'm
I'm
reading
trying to
other
help you.
ones here.
I'm trying to help you out.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I can't.
Jumping down here. Let's
Should
see.
be.
Mike Farwell, you've probably been in there for 15 minutes. I'm just now getting to your comment. How you doing, buddy? So,
Okay, if you see that one, that should be. Oh yeah, yeah, it's right there after Mike series. I think the Z9 minus the grip.
okay, yeah. So here we go. I missed what was said before, but Jaspreet responding to Albert. This is not the point. The point is for a 2.5K Nikon offering Z6 II and Sony offering A7 IV, but with better AF and internal 10-bit 4K. What's someone going to choose?
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. And that's a tough one. You know, Nikon's got to figure it out right now. You know, could the Z8, if it is I call it the baby Z9, but don't start shooting me. It's not going to be an exact copy of the Z9, but a baby Z9, the Z8. Could they price that $29.99? Yes, they could. I mean, looking at the 800 PF and what they did, looking at the Z9 and what they did for pricing, it is a possibility. I don't expect it, but it is a possibility.
Okay, I see where you're at. Yeah, you're on the right track.
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah, I see. So after that, it's going to be Charles Davis said, here's the problem with the flipping screen. 3 years ago, there was amateur or not for good cameras. Now they're tested because people want to shoot themselves. That way after
Yeah.
that. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that, you know, just like Jeff said, it's not about, you know, doing selfies with it or whatever. It's just more about the convenience of shooting low angle. But yeah, you have that ability even in portrait mode now with the Z9 screen. It flips in the portrait mode and in the landscape mode. I think that was a good addition. I guess Fuji had done that. I can't remember who was talking about that. Fuji had already done that before. So, you know, good on Nikon though for picking up on it and making it flip both ways. James, who wants to pay $3K for a vlogging camera? There are people that will, though, James. There are people that will. So I'm not worried about that as much as I am the people that actually want the camera. And I know you're talking about the flippy screen. Again, if that's what they give us, that's what they give us. I don't want it, but you know, it's again not a showstopper for me. I had a D5000 way back when, and I actually enjoyed being able to use that low angle. And it was because that was the only way to do that. Sit the camera literally on the ground and look at the screen. But if the tilt out screen that we have now would have been available, I would have preferred that. But I did like the flippy screen then. All right, we got a call. No, we don't. Sorry. Hang on. Hey, Lee, let me call you back. I'm in the live stream, unless you want to call in and talk to the audience. You there?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we're right in the middle of the live stream. Join us, and you can complain about what's going on just like the rest of us.
Really?
That's all right, buddy. All right, bye. All right, this is Lee Rothman. He's been in here with us before. He's a Canon shooter. He was looking at the Z9 during the announcement. He really liked everything he saw, but he was concerned about how long it would take him to get it. I think he
Oh wow.
stepped. Yeah. Let's see. Long Rider, I agree, Chuck. I want anything. Let's see. I'm looking through the camera at it to be in line with the lens. Yes. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, me too. And that's again a personal preference, Long Rider. I wouldn't say Nikon. Don't disregard what everybody wants and give me what I want. But I'd prefer it to be in line with the lens. I agree. And that's yet another issue with it hanging out to the side. Does that bother anybody else? Evidently not. And okay, it's just me and a quirk with me, I guess. Mike talking about the D700. D700 did make a dent, Chuck. There has been write up about that idea. Um, I've heard both ways on that, Mike. But the majority seem to think that it didn't hurt people that uh, they didn't skip the D3 or D3S. Um, they just wanted the D700, just like people today that want a smaller body. So I don't know. It's arguable, but it obviously didn't hurt sales because they sold a lot of cameras. I don't know if they're ever ramped up to make as many flagships as they are other models anyway. So, uh,
So after that it'll be Jeff and Leslie Wildlife.
yeah, I got James. Let's see, Jaspreet talking to James too.
Yeah.
Look at the top suggestions for blogging camera, and one of the top suggestions is the A7S3 with 16 to 35, 2.8. That's more than 5K in top channel. That let's see, in top channel that use that combo. Yeah, and we can go into the prices when you start talking about lens choice too, but just at the camera body level, what are you going to wind up paying? Uh, I think that Nikon has a battle on their hands for this next model, and I guess they're trying to figure that out now. How much do we put into that body, and how much are we going to charge? Because uh, how do they? How in the world do they balance what everybody wants with cost? Let's see. Here's a comment, Jeff. Seriously, the Z9 minus the grip coming in at half the price using most of the same internals and firmware would easily sell 5 times as many units as the Z9, spread profit across the larger base. Yes, absolutely, it's going to sell more. It's like the D850. There are a whole lot more D850s out there than there are D5s and D6s. Did the D850 kill? I know there is a difference when you talk about megapixels and things like that for different uses. Um, uh, Landscape folks would rather have more megapixel. So are they interested in a D5 or more interested in a D850? But it's the price. It's having the capability, just like you said. Um, minus the grip, using most of the same internals, which is actually cost effective because they already have those. The die is set for producing those internals, and then the firmware, and that's going to easily sell 5 times as many units as Z9. You're absolutely right, and profit across a larger base. So Nikon, let's get with it. This is what we need to do to kind of bail ourselves out here. Uh, James asks, "Has there ever been?" Yes, I had the D5000 way back when that had a flippy screen. It wasn't for vlogging then, though. There wasn't a lot of vlogging that I was aware of at the time. It may have existed, but I don't remember seeing it. But yeah, they had a flippy screen, flipped out to the side and rotated, just like the ones today. Vlogging. Why does he call them? Hang on, folks. Let me talk to V real quick. Yes, sir.
Hey, Chuck, send me the new link.
Okay.
It doesn't work.
All right. Send it to you now. Vahagan needs the link too. I forgot we changed and I didn't send him a. Let's go here. Sorry, folks. We'll get Mr. Vahagan in here. Get his 10 cents worth.
5 cents worth.
5 cents, 10, quarter, you name it. We'll cover all price range here. Okay, let me keep scrolling. If I miss your comment, you guys, here, I'm going to throw the number up here again. If I miss your comment and you really want to make sure we know and hear it and whatever, or question, then get on the phone, call us.
So after
Ted,
the
good to
flipping,
see you.
so
I'm sorry.
After you said the flipping screen, it's gonna be David. The flipping
Yeah.
screen, right? Yeah. David.
Yeah.
Said.
Somebody had asked, or James had asked, was there ever a Nikon camera? And I was just saying that the D5000 had a flippy
Yeah.
screen.
Okay. Yeah. James said it. Yeah. And then after that is David. By the time you ask the question, they keep on asking. Right.
Oh
More
yeah,
questions.
I love it,
So
man. The chat is alive, and that's kind of what makes the whole channel here.
yeah.
RS says, and RS, I'm not going to throw your comment up on the screen only because it kills the phone number. And many are still waiting for the Z9. You're absolutely right. There are a lot of people waiting for the Z9. Now, is it possible that some people would just cancel their order? Yes, it is. But you know what? Nikon's got to do something, and they got to do it fast. This is a tough call for them, but they got to do something about people that are just fed up with not, and I'm not talking about getting the camera in their hands. Yeah, everybody's throwing a fit about that, and I understand it. But every manufacturer is doing the same thing, yet they are releasing new models. How is that possible? Why can't Nikon? Now we go back to the Nikon's a small company. Nikon's got to decide what they want to be, whether they want to be a true name in the camera world again and command a marketplace in the camera world, or whether they just want to become a niche camera brand where you're just going to have to wait. Mike Farwell calling. Hang on, folks. Michael.
Hey Chuck, how's it going?
It's going okay, man. I'm probably ticking a lot of people off, but it's going good.
Cool. Hey, listen, I don't want to take up too much time, but I do have two statements.
Yes, sir.
One, I'd like to know, I had made a comment on your page last night. Last night was the first night that I actually took my D8 out after, since I bought the Z6 II.
Right.
And I got to admit, I really have to admit, looking in the optical viewfinder is like looking into a dark hole compared to the EVF. I really like them. I really think that EVF is just freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Compared to,
Yeah, I do too. I agree with you. And wait till you see the tech that's in the Z9, whether it's in the Z9
Sure.
if you decide to get it, or whether it's in the next body that comes out. The tech that's in the new EVF with the new X-Speed processor is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I just can't believe. It was like, oh my God, it was almost a awakening to God. Just difference. And that's shooting, sunset pictures and all that, where it's kind of dark out.
Yeah.
But yeah, then my next question is, I'm in the process of looking into a computer, and I know I'm going to talk Greek to you for a second, but I'd like to know if any of the guys out there can say for sure if a GPU actually does make a difference, with Lightroom and Photoshop, because I'm hearing both sides of the story, and I'll let you go on that one.
All right. Yeah.
Okay, buddy.
Yeah. You know what? I want to have a live stream on that. I need to pick that as a topic and we need to talk about that as far as computers go, because I'm in the market too. I need to put other gear aside for a bit and upgrade my whole processing,
He need a
station.
MacBook.
Right, and the only reason that it's really bugged me because I had a 1040. Just a high definition monitor for years.
Right.
And then I went to the iMac, and then I had a 2K, which is really nice. and it handled the 36 files, 36 meg files from the G810 pretty good.
Yeah.
But I took that jump from 2K to 4K, and I could just tell a huge draw difference on my PC. And I just want to, I want to either buy a Mac Mini. Do I need a studio, or would I be just ahead to build my own PC again?
No.
I talked to my local camera shop. They have not been any help. Went to Best Buy, talked to those guys, and they said, well, because I was thinking about just getting a GPU for it.
Yeah.
And I just can't get a good definite, answer. But anyhow, hey, Vahagan, I saw that you in. Ty, how's it going? But anyhow, I'll leave it up to you guys to take it from there.
All right, Mike. Thanks for the call.
And I want a mini D5. That's all I want in the next hammer. That's all I want, Santa Claus. That's all I want, So, hey, have fun, guys. Take care.
Thanks, Mike.
Okay.
Thanks for the call. We're going to keep pushing Nikon.
There you go. Push them hard.
All
Bye.
right, buddy. Bye.
What's up, Mike? What's up?
Mr. V's in the house.
What's happening, guys? Who was that? Charles?
That was Mike Farwell.
Ah,
Okay,
right.
so Mike listening. I think he need is the the Mac Mini with the M1. Ain't but $600.
Yeah.
That's all it needs.
Yeah, and that's what I'm looking at as well. You're right, Tay. Jeff Neville just upgraded his whole system. I think monitor and all. So yeah, computer's next for me with storage. I think I've got to go that route.
That's all
Hey,
he
what's
needs,
going on, guys?
What's up,
Lee,
Vahagan?
Stu Blue.
Yes,
Lee,
Mr.
Rockish.
Stu Blue.
Rock and roll,
Stu Blue, what's
Rockish.
up?
What's up, Tay?
What's up, V?
Hey, I saw your latest video, man. That was pretty badass.
Appreciate it, man. I'm still working.
All right, you're good.
Still
Going out
working.
there shooting with the Fuji and the off-camera flash. That was awesome.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
Yeah. What's up, Chuckster?
I've probably been running my mouth too much. I can't keep up with the comments. I'm just happy that everybody out there kind of
trying to help them.
Yeah, Tay's trying to keep me informed of how far back I am. Stu Blue's back in, and Stu, we don't care if you're in and out as long as you're here when you can be, man. We love having you in here. Why stay Nikon? Excellent question.
Are you guys talking about how all the Sony users are jumping to Nikon?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. That's a big problem for Sony right now. All the Fuji shooters are going Nikon too.
Chuck, let me ask you, why stay with Nikon? What do you mean, Stu? Not you too.
No, I think it's a valid question though. Why? Why should anybody stay with Nikon? So here comes some more daggers my way.
And then who else was it?
You know, when it's a tough question to answer, you got to stop and think, don't you?
It's not tough. It's easy.
I like what I see with Nikon. I like as far as the Z9 goes. I just want to see it now in a smaller body. We've said it all too many times. Colors, I like the colors. But are these reasons to stay with any one brand? I like the ergonomics. And Josh had talked about menu with the A1, and I agree with him. I'd already said that in a previous live stream. We think the menu system in Canon and Sony is so much more difficult or not as good as the menu system with Nikon. But that's because we're used to Nikon. And Josh said after he'd played with the A1 for a while, the menu system there was as good or easy to navigate as Nikon. So that's just one, whatever brand you're in love with, the menu system is easy for you because you're used to it. So I can't use that either, but I don't want to switch menu systems. Maybe that's a reason that I stick with Nikon. I like what I get with Nikon right now. I just don't like the non-communication and the lack of, product as far as the camera bodies go. Never was this way with DSLRs, but it is with the mirrorless bodies. So that's why I'm hounding them now. Go ahead, Vahagan.
Nikon rocks. Hey, I was gonna say not you, Stu Blue, and then Ryan Troy was talking some nonsense on the in his something. He said something about I'm gonna switch to Canon. I saw that Ryan Troy. I don't know if he's in here, but Rakesh is what is he? Pink Floyd, of course, Pink Floyd.
His camera gonna blow up. He go to Canon.
He nah, man, you gotta do what you gotta do. Use what makes you happy, man. Doesn't matter.
That's right.
Nikon.
That's
But I use Nikon because I love Nikon. Nikon rocks. Look,
Yeah.
look, Chuck.
Rakesh, yeah. I can't see it. What do we
Hold
got?
Oh,
I don't know which one. Is that the 105?
the 50.
A 50 1.2.
1.2. Yeah.
Okay.
Beautiful lens, man.
Yeah.
This is
Is that the one you shot on the beach with?
no.
Oh, that's
What do you mean?
You were at the beach or something.
David, I
The
agree
other
with
video
you.
you did.
You know, we've said that before. All these brands are good. You know,
No, man, that was a 400.
Oh, okay.
That was a
Chuck,
400.
So Chuck said, Chuck, if you go to Mac, you save a ton of money using the Turner storage. So Chuck, I got the MacBook Pro 2018, but I use the G technology for my Turner storage. So I don't use the main brain. All my
Yeah.
stuff is on the Turner storage. So you save a lot of money for that. Just get because G technology is the best.
Yeah, I've got to invest in external storage, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
NAS or whatever it is, I don't know. I'll pick the brains of some smart people on that because that eludes my, you know,
Well, I told you my secret. I got about 4 of them.
yeah,
Hey, Chuck,
sir.
you got guests over?
Guests over? No, you
I
hear
hear
my
chatter
you
over
hear
there.
my, yeah, it's my brother in the background trying to change his flight.
Are you sure that's okay? So let me tell you a quick story. Um, I was back 6 years, no, not 8 years ago. I was using Nikon, right? I'm a Nikon shooter. But then my friend, introduced me to the 85-1.2 Canon L Mark II lens. I fell in love with that lens. So what I do, I bought Canon cameras. So I didn't fully switch, but I had it on the side and I used it. And then I wasn't using my Nikon gear at all. And then what happened was I told this story before, but we had a wedding and I was using my Canons and my second shooter had Nikon, right? So I was editing the files and, editing my files. And then when it came to his files, I was editing his files and I'm like, damn, man, these Nikon lenses are just something else, just in my opinion, they were just great. Every time I'd switch to my files, the images were muddy and not sharp. Switched to his files and they were sharp and great. And so I sold all my Canon gear after that. So it was just interesting. I didn't sell my Nikon gear. I kept it, but I sold, I bought Canon and I was into that Canon thing for a while. And then I'm like, what am I doing? You know what I mean? Why am
Yeah.
why am I abandoning my brand? I have nothing, I have no, money in this game. I mean, I'm not endorsed by anybody or they're not paying me to use the gear. I just enjoy using it, So
Yeah.
for those of you guys who want to try something else, I welcome you to go try it. You might love it, but I recommend you not selling your stuff first. Try it out for a couple months, then put your stuff on sale. So Polaroid, cool shirt. Can you guys hear me?
Hey
Chuck.
guys. Yeah,
I can hear you.
Hey guys, let me run and check with my brother here. He's trying to change his flight, and I need to know what's going on because I'm taking him to the airport. But anyway, carry on, Tay and Vahagan. I'll be right back. Good to see you in here, Josh, and you too, Lee.
Hey, bro. So nice video over there.
Man, appreciate it,
Where,
man.
where you
Still
from?
learning.
Where you from?
North Carolina.
Oh,
Yeah, I
all
mean,
right.
yeah, I'm about 3 hours behind you. I mean, in front of you. I mean,
Yeah, that's cool.
think you in Los Angeles?
LA, Southern
Yeah, yeah,
California,
yeah. I'm 3 hours ahead of you.
where the weather's nice, but the taxes are not. Hey,
Oh,
what's
but yeah,
going on,
man.
man?
Oh yeah, great video too. Now, the other day, I think the other day. When was it? The other day? The day
Yeah,
before? You did one in your house and you did one outside.
yeah. Hey, what's going on? Hey, Josh, what's up, man? Josh, I bet you'll be back. I'll guarantee you'll be back in a couple of years. You go have your thing with Sony. As soon as that camera stops working on you at 110-degree weather, you'll be back.
Mm-hmm.
Guarantee. Hey, like I said, focus works great, and the video maybe, but I just can't get used to that. The
Not
Sony
this right
feel.
here. That right there. Yes, sir, boy.
Oh
That
yeah,
400. Yes, sir, boy. You did
yeah,
that. You did that.
yeah, yeah. Josh, you'll be back, man. Don't worry about it. I'll see you with the Nikon there in the future. You'll miss it, man. I've been there. Trust me, I've been there. I switched brands. I used other brands, and I'm back to Nikon. That just it fits like a glove. You know what I mean? They all have their downsides. All the cameras are not perfect. I mean, they all do things better than others, but it just fits like a glove.
Yeah. What that dude name one for? Mike. That name what Mike? Mike, yeah. Mike. So if you get the what you call it, the Mac Mini with the M1 chip for about $600, you could get the external hard drive. So the G technology, I would say like 6 terabytes, and you are pretty good with that. You'll be good
Hey, are you
with
at work?
Lightroom. No, I'm at the hospital with my son. So
Oh, is everything all right?
yeah, he's just getting checked out and stuff.
Okay. You're in
Yeah,
love with the
so
KFC. I mean ZFC. All right. No, but seriously, I just can't get used to the Sony, man. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the. I feel like when I use the Sony, I feel like it's like the PS4 controller. You know what I mean? Like the feeling of the buttons and
yeah,
the colors of the EVF,
yeah.
the
No, on the Sony, they buttons too small. I think they too small.
and the EVF, the colors. It just
Yeah,
reminds me too much of a PS4. You know, yeah, a great camera, like I said, and you know what? I want to review. I have friends
yeah.
that have Sonys, man. I have friends
I
that
think
have
that.
all the Sonys. I can go right now and pick one up and review it, which probably I want to do. I want to
Yeah,
compare like side by side A1 versus um the Z9, or I have
yeah,
all my buddies have the what is it, A7 III, A7 II, A7 R4, A7 IV. They all have them because all the video shooters in my industry, in my area, not all, but 90% are Sony users. It's like
yeah.
industry standard to do wedding videos with Sony.
I think
Not Canon
Sony
anymore.
just got that's good with videos. That's what I think. Their camera just good for videos, and that's what I think now.
Yeah, they're good. I mean, so is a Nikon now. Nikon has caught up. That's all it did. Nikon has caught up, and Nikon actually surpassed somewhat the technology in the Z9
Hmm.
with the internal recording, which I'm
And
probably
Fuji right
never gonna
behind.
which I'm probably never gonna use. Somebody like Stu Blue might use that stuff with the 12-bit and all that. But for me, not gonna use that stuff. Hey, Chuck, I checked out that video you sent me yesterday. Man,
Mhm.
that's like a movie.
The guy's incredible, isn't he? For you, those of you who don't know, talking about Josh at Make Art Now.
Send that to Stu Blue. He'll appreciate that.
Yeah, have you seen that, Stu? It's a
Wow.
fantastic video. It's actually a product announcement for a lens, and he gets all that in there, but it still plays like a movie because that's what it is. It's just fantastic. He put a lot of work into that.
Yeah,
I know he had to stay up all night with that thing. About 6 to 8 hours with that. Editing.
that's a lot of work, man. I feel like I was watching Back to the Future, with Doc Brown and
So that's what I've been saying. There are a lot of there's again, that's with Black Magic. He shoots Black Magic and Sony mostly.
Black Magic ain't no joke.
No, it isn't when you're talking about video, and that's what Jess
You know,
Preet's been
yes, sir.
saying.
When
That's
that,
one of his
yeah.
complaints is, Nikon needs to take a note from Black Magic and look at that as well. But yeah, it's incredible. And this is what I was saying, Vahagan. There are a lot of creators out there. They don't shoot Nikon, but I follow them just because their content is that entertaining.
Yeah.
Photo Me-Ike just dropped a video, and I sent you a link if you're in here, Ike, to jump in here with us as well. But he dropped a video. It's really a photo shoot, which is really nice. I loved what he did in the photo shoot, but he took some video and in-log, which a lot of people don't care for, but because we can't shoot in RAW yet unless you're using DaVinci to edit. It's the only platform that recognizes the new in RAW. But anyway, his video looked fantastic as well. I had it up here on the screen before I went through the, just so you could get a look at it before we went through the audio debacle, which now I got to sort out in the stream afterwards so everybody knows to watch this one. But yeah, fantastic. But Josh is incredible with some of the stuff that he makes. There's a second version of that also. Vahagan, if you go to his channel, you can see the second version of Anamorphia.
Yeah, that's he's in LA, I think, too.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
I should hit him up.
Yeah, absolutely. He'd be a great guy. He's he's got charisma, and that's what really makes him so likable.
Yeah. Hey, James. Yeah, Houston's still open.
So Charles talking about he doesn't follow people because of the camera they use. I follow them because of their content, absolutely, and their honesty and integrity. And it's hard sometimes to actually determine their integrity or whatever. However, I follow another guy out of Sweden. He shoots Sony, strictly Sony, but he doesn't shove it down your throat. He's not one of the typical Sony fanboys, but his content is fantastic as well. Peter Lindgren. If you guys haven't checked him out, definitely check him out. James is back. It looks like gets his video.
Well, Charles,
going there.
you said to me too. don't. Make sure
James, we
Charles
can't see
follow
you.
me.
Oh, he moved. So Dice Kolov is saying he moved actually moved out of LA, but forgot where he did go, Ohio or something. Wow, that's a switch. I'll check that out because I follow him, Dice. I love his content. He just did his
LA got that
NAD
nice
review.
Is Mothman shooting with Jeff right now?
Yes.
Are they gonna beam in?
I sent the link to both of them. If they get a chance, maybe if they have cell phone coverage, they'll jump on the link and give us an update as to what they're doing. Maybe they're just having too much fun to even do that.
That's cool.
Josh says
Hey,
he
Mr.
lost
V, when you
190.
take your drum set on the beach?
Huh?
That's
I
a good
said,
idea.
take your drum set and shed on the beach.
Yep.
Yeah.
Josh said he lost 193 subscribers when I announced switching to Sony. Surprisingly, a lot of people watch because of the camera you use. Yeah, it's unfortunate, Josh. I don't do that. Again, I watch for the content. With you, did it bother me that you jumped to Sony? Yes, it didn't devastate me, but I like watching Nikon content on the different channels because it's promoting Nikon and what it can do. But you know what? I'm not unsubscribing because I love your content and I think your wife Katie is a fantastic addition to what you guys are putting out.
So Jasper, yeah, I think Final Cut with the NRAW supports that. That's the only one I know. Final
So
Cut Pro.
so Jaspreet, I did watch them. It's Soul Dance is the name of the video. So they have the behind the scenes video and they have the actual video up that you can watch. And I'm glad you brought it up because I forgot to talk about it. And while it's good, one of the things that I don't know who I was talking to. Maybe it was you, Vahagan. I'm not sure. Or maybe it was Ronald Pollard, and he must be busy today, or he'd be in here, I'm sure. Look at the age of the people that are actually shooting the video. That's what bothers me. I want to see them get some young creators out there and highlight them because that is the future of Nikon and it's what's going to sell cameras because their word of mouth means more to marketing now than anything that Nikon can do to promote the brand. Two video editing software that support in raw. What are they, Jaspreet? Have you posted that and I just haven't seen it yet?
I think it's
I know
Final Cut Pro
DaVinci.
and Premiere.
No, Final Cut Pro does not support in raw yet. I know DaVinci does. And if I was smart, I'd get DaVinci and start working on it since it's what half of Hollywood's using now. DaVinci Resolve to do their editing.
But ain't they what Ike just used? He used NRAW with that video.
He
And
used
only thing
in
he used is
log.
Final Cut Pro.
He used in
Oh, in
log,
law. Okay.
not in raw. Yeah.
Okay. I got
Hey
it.
Chuck, I want to announce something on your stream right now.
Do it, man.
All right, I got some good news.
Let's hear it.
You hear it here first. So Nikon is sending me some gear to play with.
Cool.
Yeah,
That is
so,
real cool.
Yeah, reached out. Actually, they reached out to me, and we had a conversation. Nikon USA, and
Okay, what's up?
yep, they're sending me some lenses. We'll see what I get.
Oh, okay. I
but
just about to ask what kind of lenses.
I think they're sending me the 7200Z, which I requested, and the 400Z, which is,
That's the
with-
hot lens right now for those that can afford it. That 400 TC.
yeah, I'm gonna get the 7200 first.
Yeah.
From Nikon and play with it, do some comparison videos, reviews, and then once I set up a shoot that I think would really rock the 400Z with,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell them to send it over. They don't have too many of those to send out, so I was just having a great conversation with the people at Nikon, and they told me that if we do send you that 400, it'd be that same one that Jared got. So
Okay.
Congrats on that.
Yeah, absolutely. So all the ranting and raving that I've done since October about Nikon, maybe they are listening. Maybe they are trying to reach out to smaller channels and get a view from those of us that actually buy all this stuff and use it all the time. That's fantastic. That's great, man.
We need to go see
Congratulations.
V at the beach.
thank you,
Yeah,
man.
James.
It was,
James, we
it's-
need to go see V at the beach.
It's big news. I mean, having a conversation with the brand, directly is big for me, because hey, they're my main camera brand. I have to admit. So
No,
was
that's
great.
fantastic, man. Now you got to make some Josh videos, the Make Art Now videos. You got to go out and get you a one wheel.
No, I'm not gonna do all that. I'm gonna do what I want to do. And I told them I'm gonna do what I want to do, and they're totally cool with it. They really, I guess, they really saw what I was doing with the Nikon Ambassadors live. The guest I had on, and they really took notice. And yeah, they watch our stuff. So
So now, at the chance of making enemies, I'm going to say this: and Nikon USA, I hope you're in here listening. I love I love the Nikon ambassadors. I love Bambi Cantrell. Well, everybody that you've had on, Vahagan. But again, I want to see some younger ambassadors that are actually on the speaking trail, like the major ambassadors that they have, and promoting this with a younger generation. I want to see some 20 and 30 somethings out there really knocking it out of the park as ambassadors and showing us what they can make. The creativity is what sells the equipment. When people see a fantastic video like the one that you watched with Josh from Make Art Now, you immediately want to know what he's using. I mean, that's just, one of those things that everybody asks is, what are you filming this on? When the truth is it's all in their editing and everything else that they do, but people buy based on what they see. Um, if that wasn't the case, then you wouldn't sell any soft boxes or speed lights or anything else. As soon as somebody makes a video with a new speed light or a new soft box, people go out and buy it, especially if what they're producing looks good. So yeah, I want to see the ambassadors. I want to see that the average age drop in the ambassador pool for Nikon, because that's where the
well,
future is, and that's what's really going to put them on the map. Go ahead, Vahagan.
ambassador, sure. Even if it's people like us, you know what I mean? Like not really official ambassadors, but like guys out there producing content. I
Yes.
think that's people watch that stuff more than just follow an ambassador.
Yeah.
Ambassadors are good for their, PR and their, uh, you know, uh, the shows and the conventions and the talks. But people really watch it. It's like It's like looking at like mainstream media and looking at what you like watching news on YouTube. Like all these non-legacy media channels you have on YouTube. More people watch, let's say, Joe Rogan than they do CNN, right?
Yes.
So it's like that. I mean, that's the comparison.
No, you're absolutely right. And again, the content is what's selling the products. And here you go, George Robinson. Thanks for this comment, George. I hope Nikon USA is watching. You agree, and bought the Nikon D810 when I was following Iliad Lucardi for landscape photography tutorial. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff. It's the content. You just can't pull the lens up. How many people do you watch that did a promo for the 800 or the 400 TC, and it's like, yeah, it's a cool lens and everything. You're watching it because it's the only thing out there right now, but you didn't really necessarily get blown away by their content. That's what Nikon needs to watch for, whether it's ambassadors or somebody like you, Vahagan, that shows how creative you can be with those lenses and things like that.
Yeah,
So, Mr. V, I got a question.
sure.
So, so I know you said Nikon sending you some gear to test out, right? So when you test them out, you can say anything about them, right?
Oh yeah, no, I'm not
Okay,
gonna
okay,
be.
okay.
I'm not an ambassador.
Oh,
I'm just
okay,
gonna
okay.
review it.
No, no. Yeah, that's what I was saying. You could say if they send you stuff out, so
Oh
you can
yeah,
say anything about. Okay, okay,
I'm gonna be fair. I mean,
okay.
I'm gonna be fair as much as I can, but I mean they know that. But I would love to get my hands on something that comes out before anybody does. That's what puts you on the map on YouTube. Like that
Okay.
breaking news.
That's why I asked. I wanted to know in case somebody send me some lands. I want to know, do I need to be myself, or you can say anything about the gear thing they send out.
If they pay you and you accept the payment for as like a commercial for the camera, yeah, you
Uh-huh.
need to make them look good.
Okay, okay, okay.
See, that's where the integrity thing comes in again. It's hard to make a video and break your own integrity and say that it's great when it isn't, because you got paid to actually be a spokesman, even though they'll say probably you can, speak truthful. But I mean, how truthful can you be if it's junk?
Yeah.
You hope that it's good product so that you can honestly talk well about it. Ronald Pollard in the house. Here's a man that needs to be an ambassador for Nikon.
Yeah. So that's why I asked Mr. V, because Fuji or Viltron lens send me some stuff. I want to make sure I can say anything about
Hey,
the lens and
let
camera.
me give you some advice for that. I did work for Viltrox. I did some work.
Mhm.
They're open. Like they're open. You do your videos. You send them an email.
Mhm.
Say, hey, I used one of your lenses to do this shoot. Send me some stuff. They'll send it out. Viltrox will send
I
you
need it.
the lenses.
I need to get with you then about that then, cause I sent
Yeah.
them an email. They never
You know what's
hit
good
me
about
back up.
Viltrox? They let you keep the stuff. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
you know, with Nikon and stuff, you got to send it back. But with Viltrox, you do the video. You be fair on the video. You don't need to like. It's not a commercial. It's a review. So, but they let you keep all the lenses.
I need to get with you about that, cause I sent an email to them, but I ain't getting a response. I ain't never get a response. I only did about 3 videos with the lens.
Yeah, yeah. Just say,
Okay.
hey, which lens don't you have? Okay, I want this one. I want that one.
Okay.
Send it to me.
I gotta get with you. Yeah, I gotta get with you. Team
Yeah.
Fuji, Chuck. Hope you switch.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Everybody switching.
Hey, I
I'm
love what Manny Ortiz said the other day. He goes, I'm switching to what? I have all the cameras. You
Hmm.
know, he's like, I'm not switching. I just have the cameras.
Hmm.
You know.
So here you go. This is, and I know there are some people that fall into a younger category. I'm looking at my analytics right now just to talk about this. 56% of my subscriber base is 55 to 65 or 64 years old. 44% is 65 plus years old. So there you go. This is Nikon. I have no 13 to 17, 18 to 24. Well, I shouldn't say no. It's just not enough to register. 25 to 34. So I'm not telling everyone here you're old. You aren't enough of a number to even register in my analytics. So there
Nah,
you go.
don't you know? Don't put too much thought into that, Chuck. I mean, don't worry
Oh,
about
I
it.
absolutely am putting thought into it because the whole point is this is typical of Nikon. And it has a lot to do with me sitting here with a gray hair. I don't know how many young people want to jump in, but I can't even pull them into the live stream because I'm an old guy and immediately I don't speak for them or that's the way they see it. So, I have tried to get some young folks to come on as guests, and I guess they look at they look at the stream and feel like, no, I don't want to jump into the old farts, group. And that's what
Hey,
Nikon needs. Nikon needs the ability to do that, which is why I keep harping on Nikon needs to definitely invest in younger folks to promote.
yeah, but the Dice and Rakesh, hey, don't let the white beard fool you, man. This is hereditary. You know what I mean? I'm in my 40s and I feel like I'm in my 30s, 20s. Hey, Tay, how old are you?
I can't tell my age.
All right.
No, I'm
You're in your
31.
Okay, you're in your 30s. All right. Back in the
You
day,
about
remember when Nikon used to be the cool camera brand? Like in the 80s? You'd see an 80s
I
movie
want
and the kid was using a
yeah,
Nikon.
yeah. Now movies using Fuji.
They are. I haven't seen one.
Hmm.
Really?
Hmm.
No, now
I
you're
forgot
right, Jaspreet.
I forgot what movie it was, but yeah, they using
So,
Fuji or Nikon.
is there anybody in here that's under 30 right now? I'm just asking. Anybody out in the wings that's under 30, if you would, just so we
James.
So Mr. V, you
I
about
think
in
I'm
your
in my
50s?
20s, Rakesh says.
What?
You in your 50s?
No, dude.
Oh,
I told you no. Don't let the white beard fool you, man.
Oh well, Chuck, but look like he's back in his 60s.
Yeah, I am. But I've looked this way since I was in my 40s. I had white
There's
hair
no such
before.
thing as too old to be a rock and roll, man. Come on, man.
So B, you
Tell that to
early
Rolling
40s,
Stones.
early 40s, right?
Yeah, mid 40s.
Okay, mid 40s.
There's never too old. I mean, look at all the old rockers, man. They still rocking out.
So again, Nikon USA, if you're watching, you got a bunch of older farts here that are behind you. If you'll just pull the trigger and start doing the right thing. Back to communication again. I said this earlier. There are a lot of people over on the Nikon Z9 groups and things that are complaining because they're not getting responses from Nikon. So again, we're back to the communication issue. And if Nikon can't fix that, that's definitely not helping them at all.
No, I understand. Now, long rider, I get it. I don't take things seriously, man. You guys don't know me, man. I don't care. Hey, but seriously, I don't really like new rock anyway. Like I don't like all the new stuff that's out. I mean, I don't know. I listen to classic rock and things out in the 80s, 90s, and so 70s.
Uh-oh. He was a drummer too.
That's cool.
I got all these folks that live close to me. I'm gonna have to do something. We're gonna have to put together an opportunity for all of us to go meet up somewhere.
Hey, Jeff brings up an interesting point, and this is interesting. How many people under 30 can afford these cameras? Then they can't. He's right.
No, but they can afford the camera and starter lenses. Yes.
Yeah. Well,
Nikon needs to remove the service part out of NPS. It's non-existent. Whole lot of people are saying that, Josh, even in the Nikon camp. I know that other brands get a bad name too from time to time, but a lot of people are saying that. Of course, there's no love lost with me and Nikon NPS since what they did with the Z9 when they kept it open for a month for people to make a decision on whether they wanted the Z9 or not, and bumped 1,000 people back in line just because they couldn't make their mind up. I know they have to do something for the professional shooters, but now I question whether some of them are even professional shooters.
hey, you know what I was thinking the other day? When Josh does his videos out in nature, you know how he's all quiet in the woods and stuff? I'm like, hey, Josh, I'll come set up my drum set. And once I start jamming in the nature, you shoot all the birds flying away. That'd be awesome. Talk about contrast. Doing a drum solo out in the mountains. Hey, that's James. All right, Rush, man. For sure.
I agree with you, Rakesh. You'd be surprised how many can just drop $3,000 for camera gear and in their 30s. I agree with you. I don't know why everybody wants to harp on that, but that's absolutely true.
Not here in America. They probably charge it.
Absolute. Well, either way, they're buying it. You're right.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. You bought the premium package instead of I just went for the free package and they didn't even hear me, I guess.
Hey, you guys know that some musicians are photographers, like they love photography. There's a lot of them out there like that are into photography.
Long Rider. I couldn't afford 20 grand in gear until I traded in my ex-wife.
Like James talks about Rush, or the bass player Geddy Lee. James, he's a birder. He's a birder. That's his hobby. I bet he has all these lenses.
There you go, Vahagan. Albert, congratulations, Vahagan, for seizing the spotlight. We'll be there to support you faithfully. Absolutely.
Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate all of you, man. Without your guys' support and love in the videos and this live streams, and me and Chuck will tell you firsthand that without you guys, it won't not gonna happen. So it's great, you know. It's a work in progress, right, Chuck? We just don't know what we're doing yet.
Yeah, I have no clue. That's why I'm always up here stumbling around. That's why my audio doesn't work sometimes. But you guys bring it, and that's all that matters. You guys are enjoying it.
Yeah. Yep. All right.
Man, all the rock and rollers are coming out now.
I got to photograph some rock and roll, man. Seriously.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm surprised being the rock and roll photographer, you don't have any video or whatever going out and shooting bands.
You know what? I can do that.
It just
it's just so
what?
much.
It just what?
I know, no excuses. I can do that. I get, a musician going out and not playing, it's tough. I want to be
Hey,
I want to
yeah.
be on stage.
Yep. Hey, Josh, thanks for dropping by, buddy. Looking forward to the next video.
I suppose I can go to like a local club because they got things every day here in Hollywood. They got like concerts every day at these clubs.
Yeah, I mean, there are clubs around here. If I wanted to get off my butt and go do it, I guess I should too. I shouldn't be telling you to do it when I won't, but you are the rock and roll photographer.
Yeah. Most people say, why rock and roll? Because I used to play the drums and I love rock and roll. Not necessarily that I shoot rock and roll, because people are like, hey, where are the rock and roll photos if you're the rock and roll photographer? No, I used to play rock and roll. I'm a musician. I love rock and roll, not because I shoot rock and roll.
All right, drum roll, please. The videographer of the day is here. Welcome to the ride.
Hey, dude, where you been, bro?
Man, look, I got 20 minutes and I gotta go. I'm not gonna be up here for 5 hours. Can y'all hear me?
Yep.
Okay, all right, good. All right. I think the audio is coming from this MacBook, so if it sounds different, I'm not using mine.
It doesn't sound bad from the MacBook, believe it or not.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
What's new, bro?
Man, what's the Z8 stuff about?
With the Z8 stuff, man, it's all about Nikon giving us a camera that competes with the R5 and the A7 IV so they can stay in the show.
I agree 100%. I mean, people still haven't gotten they Z9s.
I know. It doesn't matter.
That's true.
They still haven't got their R3 and Canon's getting ready to drop the R7.
That's true. I agree that it needs to exist, even if only 5 people can get their hands on one. It needs to exist so that
Yes.
there's hope for people out there.
Yes,
So-
and that's the key. You got it.
That it needs to exist for it to be a staple. Because that way, next year, let's say when all this is over, it's out there.
Yes.
Yeah, I got a question for you guys. If you
Mhm.
were to do this over again with the release of the Z9, would you release the Z9 and the Z8 at the same time,
Mm-mm. No way.
or would you release the Z8 first and the Z9?
I would release, so based on the feedback I'm getting from people in the DMs and the comments and stuff, I think the way Nikon did it was correct. I think it hurts in the short term, but in the long term, they'll be better for it, right? It hurts in the short term because people who want a Z9 can't get their hands on one, and there are people who are waiting for something cheaper. So it's like the more they wait now, like somebody said, that people are considering, I'm tired of waiting, I'm just gonna go get an R5. Or you know what? The longer I wait, the more enticing the A7 IV looks. Or the longer I wait, you know what? Maybe I would see what the R. So there's that form of people. But for the people who are diehard Nikons and they just want something like better now, I think Nikon sold a lot of Z5s to people who would normally have brought one, like myself included. If the Z8 would have came out first, I would have got the Z8 and I would have been like, well, the Z9 is nice, but I got the Z8. So they made more money in the short term off of people like me and people who were like, well, you know what, economy's doing well. I had a good year. Let me just save a few bucks and just go ahead and buy the Z9. I've always wanted a flagship, so I'm going to buy a Z9. But, you know, in a year to the next year when they come out with the Z8, everybody else can now have one. And then they can kind of trickle down.
Whoa. Not in the next year. No, it's going to be this year.
I mean, from the Z9's release. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
The release of the Z9. So the Z9 came out December last year. And so a year from now, then when they come out with the Z8, when it gets released to the public in December, November, December, whatever the case may be, you know.
So what do you think the two cameras they have registered already are?
Hopefully it's a Z8, Z6 III type of camera. And then people talk about an APS-C, and I'm like, I get it, but we had this argument before. They need the lenses. They need the lenses. I was talking to a guy last night. He was like, yeah, do you remember the 17 to 55? And I'm like, yeah, that lens got left in the dust as soon as they went full frame. And it's true, like the 17 to 55 existed for the D2Hs and the D2s and the D1, all of that stuff. They needed a 17 to 55. Once they introduced the D3 and went full frame, APS-C lenses got left in the dust. They never, they stopped supporting. The last great one was the 35 millimeter 1.8 DX lens. Yeah. And then they just stopped releasing new, like good.
Well, and there are so many alternatives for people out there in DX land, you know, or smaller sensor land. Does Nikon really need to go down that road? You know, you're right. It brings about more headaches because now you got an additional lens lineup that you've got to do something with.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's that much demand in the Nikon camp. I know that there are people that want a new DX camera. And a lot of people, especially here we go with sports and wildlife, want it one for the reach so they can put some full frame glass on it, telephoto stuff. And they want a robust body like the D500. But I don't know that Nikon needs to go down that road. However, since Canon just announced that R7, well, they haven't announced it yet, but the rumors are, you know, 100% right now that it's going to be announced soon. Is Nikon competing with Canon in that arena too, and wanting to maybe one of these cameras that's been registered as an APS-C body? I don't know. It scares me though. I'd rather see them stray away from APS-C. Your thoughts?
I don't mind them going back to the old format. Like when they released which I appreciate that Sony forced everybody to release two cameras with similar body styles, but like different features. So the Z6 and the Z7, you couldn't tell them apart unless you saw the logo, right? You picked it up exactly the same, had the same features, which was amazing. Because to somebody as a D750 owner, I wish my D750 was built like my D800, but it wasn't. But I like the features of my D750. I didn't need the features of a D800, but I wish the body style. When they released the Z6 and the Z7, you got that, right? You're like, oh, now if you buy the cheaper camera, nobody can tell.
Yep.
And you still got all of the features and stuff like that, but you paid. But the Z6 was the same price as a D750, and the Z7 was the same price as a D800 or D850. But the identically featured, they were the same camera. They just had different, you know. So, anyways, that was cool for a while. But I think now with the release of the Z9, I think Ryan Troy had kind of mentioned that too. That they have the Z9, then they have a Z8. And then they need to come out with something maybe a cheaper, but like, so what I mean is like, if they come out with a Z8, they need to change the body style. Maybe keep the Z6 III, like the Z6 body, but maybe the Z8 gets a little bit thicker body, maybe one extra button. Maybe it's a little bit more, not as big as the Z9, but a little bit more robust, like how the R5 is compared to the R6, like how Canon did it with the R6 and R5.
Right.
amazing. Maybe the next Z6 doesn't have a top LCD screen or something like that to kind of differentiate it, so then you
No,
can make it a little bit cheaper.
that's a good point. I agree with you 100% on that. Yeah.
And then they go ahead.
I was just going to say the difference between the D750 and the D850, the feel,
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah, but the D750 is a very capable camera. It's so reliable.
Absolutely.
It's one of the best cameras in its class, in my opinion. Because you compare the D750 to like a 6D or 6D2. D750 by a long shot, unless you shoot video. But I think there's that, and then I think APS-C, like maybe they come out with like a D500 type of APS-C camera and just let it be that for like the next 5 years or something like that, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
I'm more concerned with the glass than the camera itself.
So
Because then it comes into price. Like,
yeah, go ahead.
I did feel like APS-C is becoming like a niche thing. Like, so you have the wildlife people and you have the wildlife and birders. I could see their need for a great APS-C cameras because they need the reach, right? Everybody else doesn't really necessarily need that. Like, if I'm telling a person, and people say, "Oh, D500 or D750," it's like the D500 is the better spec camera, but I would not trade that for this image quality, the D750. Like,
Right.
and they're both the same size. I rented the D750 and shot it along the 500. I rented the 500 and shot it along the 750. And the D500 is amazing, but I can't go back to APS-C, like the image quality. And if I'm going to pay the same price, I'd rather have the better image quality for what I do, for people, for events, for families, for all of that stuff. I want the better image quality, the better pixel depth, all of that stuff. But for wildlife, I could see somebody needing the D500, but there's only a small segment of people who care for that. So
well, Jess Breed just brought up talking about, he says Nikon needs the APS-C. And I'm going to throw that comment up here. It needs the APS-C crop sensor bodies. That's how they get young people into the Z system. I remember 80% of photography students in art college used to have the D3000, D5000. Well, the only issue I have with that, Jess Breed, is Nikon's pretty much stated they're not going back to the Costco palettes of, D3000 type cameras and D5000 type cameras. So what you're probably talking about, if they're going to do APS-C, is going to follow along the lines of the D500, which means it's not going to be as cheap. I mean, that's
the Z50. I mean, all I gotta do is reduce the price of the Z50 and bam.
Yeah.
The Z50 is what, two years old now?
Yep.
So,
yep. And I think that and the ZFC, everybody loves that camera once they pick it up and play with it. That's a fantastic camera. Is it as robust and everything as others? No, but it's a good starter camera. But here's the other thing. Maybe Nikon could figure out how to address this in marketing and talk about, you're going to have to reinvest in glass and everything else once you get the bug and you say, I want to really move up. Now, what do you do with all your APS-C glass and everything else that you've acquired? Then you go through the process of trying to get some money back out of it. So I don't know if it's cost saving or not, or if it's better just to save up a little more and go to full frame, maybe at the entry level and start there. At least you're acquiring glass. As everybody says, glass is forever. Cameras change every week. Although that hasn't been true here lately.
Long Rider says amateur wildlife folks spend a lot of money, go to the Conowingo and shoot and see dozens of 600 F4s. Yeah, I mean, so to your point, Chuck, they don't even need a lot of grit. They just need like maybe 4 staple APS-C lenses, like a wide angle lens, like a 16 1.8 or something like that for like a 24 millimeter wide angle, maybe like a 10 to 24 f4. It doesn't got to be 2.8, it could be an f4 to keep it simple.
Yeah.
And then a 17 to 55, like a new 2.8 zoom lens for people who want to take. And then like what did it? I think Tamron did like a 35 to 150 or something like that. Just something in that. You just need those 4 staple lenses, and then the rest can be interchanges with the full frame glass. So then you can get a 24 1.8 or whatever, or you can get a third party or a 51.8, or you can kind of
But you bring up a good point, Ike. When you talk about that, there is some good third-party APS-C glass out there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, does Nikon have to go all in? Are people going to be, say that, well, Nikon needs to produce their own lenses for it or whatever? Maybe just a few lenses, but if you're going to
Just
do
those
that,
staple lenses, like I said, just those few staple lenses,
yeah,
17 to a
yeah.
24
And if you
wide angle
want,
or something like that. Yeah.
I can't remember who it was that came out with that, talking about there was a wide angle, or not wide, but wide to medium telephoto, and then there was a almost wide. You were talking about 35 to 150, but there were two lenses that was it Sigma? I don't know, but they came out for APS-C and they looked like fantastic lenses. I was even enticed by it for my D500.
Again, like as somebody who likes to record this, right? So you want to have something decent for this type of thing, like a camera I
Right.
can just set, or a camera I can like vlog behind the scenes with, or something like
Yep.
that. It doesn't have to be full frame. In my case, I'm geared towards full frame because I can get the wide angle lenses that I need for the full frame. If I buy, because I was like, man, I could just buy a ZFC, but then I'd be stuck with the kit lens, and I wouldn't be able to do anything better than the kit lens for what I do.
Yeah. But the kit lenses on it they're just not wide enough. But I mean, the two lenses, the cheap lenses that are out there right now, the 40 millimeter f2, people are in love with that lens and it's cheap.
There you go.
That 28 millimeter, people love it and it's cheap.
There you go. So
Yeah.
those are full frame lenses that could work for the APS-C lenses, but then they come out with some APS-C specific lenses that are built for APS-C.
Yeah. Well, with the ZFC, what's the lens, the nostalgic model lens?
It's the 51.8. It just looks funny.
Is it?
Mhm.
Okay. All right.
I believe
Yeah.
it is. It's like a 50. It's a 50.
I thought it was wider than that. Maybe you talking about.
Oh, and 28.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
28.
That's the one that has the
Yeah.
silver. You can get it in
Mhm.
silver or black, and the
Yeah,
silver
28.
matches the body. It looks all nostalgic. That's a good looking rig, actually.
But a 28 transfers to like almost a 40
Yep.
millimeter, almost 20, like right between 40 and 50 millimeter, which again, I need something like a 24. I need at least a 24 equivalent, at least a 24
There you go.
equivalent.
Oh, I hit James. Sorry about that. Sorry about the typos there, James. You guys move so quick, it's hard to catch the.
Okay, so Ricky says Nikon has a 12 to 28 lens on their roadmap. I think as long as if it's at least an f4 equivalent, I'd be like, okay, maybe. And if it's a VR or IS or whatever, if they make a 12 to 28 f4, it has to have at least IS in it, because none of the APS-C lenses that cameras have.
All right, guys, here comes my Squarespace ad. No, it's not.
Right? Yeah.
I don't even have a website.
Yeah, I know. James asked me if I want to start a website. Maybe.
I love Squarespace.
Look,
Well,
I heard that when you hear from certain YouTubers, if you hear this is brought to you by Squarespace, that's at least $3,000 to $10,000. Now that's a huge range, but I've heard numbers in that range that when they say Squarespace.
Well, they can send me a check for saying it today.
Have you tried hitting them up?
So I was talking with Manny years ago, right, a while ago, and we were talking. He's like, "Yeah, I do. I have Squarespace, blah blah blah." He was the one that told me that these. Now he wasn't getting that, but he was saying other YouTubers that he knows gets like 10,000,
wow,
3 to 10, a lot of money when they say brought to you by Squarespace. And he was like, "Hey, yeah, I'm doing." I'm like, "Did you want me to like put a word in for you?" And I was like, "Nah," because I forget what my reason was, but I just wasn't ready to like go down that path of like, oh, and this is brought to you by, and so I just was like, nah, I'm good. And for the most part, I mean, they do, yeah, but if they don't, I'm still fine as well. So,
but I think it's a good idea if you can find something like that, right?
Yeah,
a little bit,
but if they say, yeah, we'll give you, but you can't make this content, you can't do that, and you can't do that. Now I'm just like, oh, jeez.
No, like what kind of content are you making? You're not making nothing like
I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? Okay, I err on the side of edginess. And the minute they say, yeah, but you can't do that, it's like now I got to make a decision. Do I want to do this for the money, or do I still want to have my freedom and do what I want to do? Because I have a job. I have a job.
There you go, Vahagan. This is what we were just talking about. You
I have
got to
a
make a
job.
decision on: do you want to be happy, or do you want to try to break
No.
into the world of YouTube as a job?
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
I think for those videos that you do Squarespace, let's say, right, you can kind of keep them, kid friendly.
Okay, so that's fair. That is fair. If that was the case, cool. But if they were like, you can't release it, because you never know, they're like, we don't want to be associated with none of your channel, let alone
Oh, I
these
see.
videos. Like,
I see.
oh, your channel as a whole, you got to clean up if you want us to work with you. And it's like, wait, what? Oh, I can't just focus on this video and that video. I just can't keep like the main videos, because I'm not going. This is the hater. We all got a little bit of hater in us. All right, let's be honest. A little bit of bias, a little bit of like I'm hating. When I see YouTubers say, so and so sent me this lenses, and they reached out and sent me this lens for free. And by the way, this is sponsored by. I'm like, oh, you really getting you double dipping, huh?
Oh, I see.
Sony sent me this, or Nikon sent me this. And by the way, the sponsor for this, oh, and there's a link in the description for that. And I'm like, golly, man, they are really hitting us over the head.
I got to tell you, that's exactly why. Not that there's ever going to be any chance of, but that's exactly why I'd never want to be an ambassador, honestly, because they're going to tie your hands, and so many people over time have been called on the carpet for mentioning other products or whatever. This goes on in the motorcycle world too. Dirt bike guys, the motocross guys, they get caught riding another brand just when they're off or whatever, playing around, and that goes viral. And then here we go with contract jeopardy or whatever. So yeah, I don't think I could do it myself.
Yeah, I'm watching people video. I'm like, wait, did you get two sponsors? What am I looking at here? Like, did you just get? Did they just pay you to do this? And you're doing a Squarespace ad? Like, how does this? And this area is still new, so that the lines are kind of blurry between like what you can or can't do. So it's just like,
Right.
but I just feel like I already have ad blocker, but it doesn't work when they tell you in the video you can't skip these ads. Yeah, this video is brought to you by. Like, he'll meet our sponsor. I'm like, oh, jeez.
Yeah, but you know what? Ambassadorship, sure, you have to kind of sell the brand, but as far as like a sponsor for like a chat or a video, there's nothing wrong with that, because YouTube pays very little to creatives. I'll tell you that.
No. So I think for example, like, let's say the DJI drone that just came out, right? Not everybody has to release their videos, but that they're getting most of the views because they are the limited amount of people who got access to this product, which is going to give them the majority of the income that's going to come from any kind of views, because they are the source. You have to come to them. So you get that connection with DJI and that plug and the free drone or whatever, because they get to keep the product. They don't send it back. So you got like a free, $1,000 piece of device. And then also meet our sponsor for the video. And I'm like, well, why would they sponsor are they really sponsoring? They say, here, we're sponsoring the video, and make 4 videos, we do our sponsorship, and then you figure it out. And so again, like, the YouTubers and the creatives aren't probably the smartest, best business people. They're just doing whatever they can to make a buck. So I see why it happens, and I understand it, but I still be like hating low key, like, oh, dang, you getting this and you get a sponsor? Jeez.
Here's a question. We've never talked about this. I don't want to change the subject too much, but this is a pretty neat question. How important is watermarking? Has anybody had a photo stolen? I haven't.
I have people put filters on my pictures.
Yeah, I detest watermarks. I really do. But if I'm looking at a photo, I hate a big watermark or some. I don't know how much they work anymore either. So
I mean,
I'm not saying don't do it. Go ahead, Ike.
I was gonna say, I'm not having pictures stolen, but I work for clients. I don't shoot for, like, I don't shoot great landscapes. Like if I was a Peter Lick, maybe I might want to put a watermark on my, because it's going to go crazy. Everybody's going to have it or something like that, or if I had a style that was so unique that like as soon as you saw it, you knew who it was. That's one thing, but you just never know, because you never really know if it's stolen or not. You might know it's stolen in America, but you never know what it does overseas. I did a wedding for a client, and they're a Nigerian couple. And then she was like, yeah, our pictures got like taken and put in ads overseas and somewhere in Nigeria, and it was one of those African countries. And they were like, yeah, our wedding pictures are used for ads in Africa. I'm like, what? So you just never really know, like logo or not. And people are crafty. So you either can try to be classy with the logo and kind of put it in there but if you do too classy, people can just take it and take it out and steal it. If you put it in the middle, it takes away from the picture and then it ruins the experience. So it's like, what do you do?
Hey, I have a question. Like, you, like, we go out, we shoot, right?
Mhm.
But you shoot more like models and stuff, and they actually know
On
you're gonna
YouTube.
put them. Yeah, they actually know you're gonna put them on your channel.
Yeah.
Do you ever shoot reviews where you're just shooting people in public, like street photographers?
Oh no. I'm not good at street. So
You don't
anytime I do
do
stuff
that.
like that,
Yeah.
it's like a wide shot. It's just an environment. And you
So
just
if
happen to be in the environment.
do you know of a lot where, because I made some videos where like just random people walking and they're in my video, right?
Mm-hmm.
Someone playing volleyball, let's say. Is there, like, because they're in public, can
I
they
believe,
see
yeah.
can they see the video and say, hey, why am I in your video? Like,
I think legally, if people are on public property,
mhm.
then you can use it, or they can't say anything. Because think about paparazzis. Like paparazzi, they run up on celebrities all the time, but they always do it in the public spaces. They never do it on private like events. So I look at it, and you're in California, so that's the home of the paparazzi thing. So if you look at it that way, like as long as they're on public property, I think it's fair game. Now,
I think it's something to go into with a photographer attorney about,
That'd be
because
good.
yeah,
We're
because
putting all this content out, and like I sometimes use the thumbnail of the athlete
well,
without
I
him
think
knowing.
one of the things is if you're using the image or the video for financial gain, if you're selling it. So
Mike said, he said you can't use images for commercial purpose unless you have a
right.
release. Exactly. So commercial purposes, like if you're selling it to
Yes.
Coca-Cola. Now,
But if you're selling the video based on promoting a product, is that the same thing, or is this one of those gray areas? That's why I say, yeah, that'd be a good question to get answered. I'm gonna see if I can find somebody that can.
See,
this is why,
like, we get a little bit of money from YouTube, right? So can they say, well, this is commercial now? Why are you using my thumbnail?
it blurs line, but they got to find out,
Okay, that's good. That's a good question. I don't know the answer to.
So, Robert, you've been doing this quite a while. Help us out with this. If you're doing video and you're promoting a product, is it considered commercial then? If you have people in the background, can they ask to be removed or something?
Probably is public domain. Yeah, exactly. And I would say, I got to step out to go pick up my middle child. I would say, okay, so let's say we do something, right? And it's like, oh, I got photography. Let's say you're shooting a bunch of surfers and you got the king surfer and he's doing some crazy stuff and you got some good footage right on your Nikon Z9. You're like, I gotta use this for the view. This is amazing footage. This is gonna make my video amazing. So then you go and you put it up. 2 weeks later, he finds out about it because people are like, oh, I saw you on, and they're like, yo, you gotta take it down. Take it down. Just take it down. If they find out and they want to make it a thing, here, you know what, you win. I didn't get a release anyway. I'll take it down. But if they never find out, they never find out. That's how I look at it. Like I'm a you gotta catch me type of guy. You gotta catch me.
What about the news people? They be having
That's
people in the
different.
background.
News is a different category. You can do it when it's news. Yes.
Yeah,
but they got
But
people.
you can't sell it and say it was news.
Okay.
Yeah, if I get a takedown notice, it's coming down. But if they don't say nothing, then I ain't say nothing. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a
I was
great
thinking about
photo
the
of a
news
guy
people.
wearing Beats headphones down in New York City. It's a fantastic photo, but I can't do anything with it other than show people because,
yeah,
I have no release, no model release.
I'll be back,
Yeah.
fellas.
I was thinking about the news people when they have do stuff like live on the streets and stuff. They got people behind them.
Yeah. It falls
That's
into a different category.
that's a good
Yeah.
question because I sometimes use a lot of that in public, and you know, he's right.
But if they don't see you or
Chances are they're not because there's some random
right,
strangers in
There you
public
go.
right,
who watches photography channels over there. But
Yeah, you're right. And Long Rider just said Instagram now has a claim policy and the subject can have the
mm-hmm,
image removed if they are in it.
mm-hmm,
hmm. And you know what Instagram has? They have this feature where if you're the photographer and you shot, let's say, makeup artist work, and the makeup artist uses your bride for her commercial purposes, you can have it taken down. Instagram will take it down.
It's just one of those things. Somebody talked about it. It's the day and age we're in right now, and it's always best to be on the safe
everything you
side.
street.
Yeah. So I don't know. There's a couple of guys that are they're attorneys, but they also work with a lot of photographers over copyright and stuff like that. And they're on B&H Photo from time to time. They do a live
Entertainment
stream.
law?
I'm sorry.
Entertainment law?
I don't know. They didn't say it that way, Vahagan, but not specialize, but they also do a lot of uh, cases for photographers. And I wish I could get somebody like that maybe to come on the channel and talk about it because it is important for anybody that's creating content that they
Yeah,
want to sell
So
in some way.
definitely. I have
so okay, so photo copyright. So copyright in a photographer means that you own the image you created. That's the
Yes.
law. Say you created the image as soon as the shutter release.
Yes.
So this means the photography copyright law state that wherever push the button owns the copyright. All photographers
Now
own that copyright through their
there's a
life.
there's a caveat to that, and it can be contested in court. If you own it the minute you snap the shutter, you're absolutely right. And I'm just saying
Right.
what these guys had talked about. However,
Okay.
to win a battle in court over a stolen image or something like that,
That's probably different.
you've got about
Yeah.
50% success unless you register those photos with the U.S. Copyright Office, which you can do,
well,
in bulk.
that's a different subject. That's a
Yes.
whole different. But we
Now
were
we're talking
talking
about
about
selling the image
But the thing
in
is
any
with
form.
but the thing is with what I was asking is that there's two types of people. The one viewer that looks and finds out that she's in the video or he's in the video and says, "Oh, look, this is cool. I'm in this video," right? And
Yeah.
then there's another guy that
Mm-hmm.
says, "Hey, why am I in this video? What the hell?" So
Yeah.
if
You're
they ever
absolutely
if people ever see themselves, we're doing photography reviews. Chances are they're not, but you never know who's watching what. So
But if you
so
press that button,
you're
it's your
absolutely
video.
right.
You own it.
You're absolutely right, Long Rider. In public places, they have no right to privacy. But now the problem is, if you're shooting in cities or whatever, you have to be on a street. They have
Right.
to be on the street or whatever. If they're in front of a building on property of that company that owns the building,
Right.
they can contest that as well. So yeah,
Right.
this is a big issue.
Like long
And the other thing
rider.
is that
Yeah.
you own the
You're right.
photos, but the problem is you can't do anything with it other than maybe show people what you took or whatever. Can you actually sell then photos that have others' faces? I have seen videos where even commercials on TV, which you think about it, you've probably seen it too, where people are blurred out in the background,
Mm-hmm. But I
intentionally
was
blurred, their
thinking,
faces are blurred.
right. But I was thinking, if you press the record button on that video, it's the same thing. It's your video. You own the rights,
Yeah, they can't take the photo or the video from
so
you,
they
but
can.
they can
Right.
limit what you can do with it.
Right. Okay.
yeah, it's weird.
But you had the right to film in public too. So
Yes.
that's what Lone Rider said. So
And I don't
Hey, let
think,
me.
I guess
Sorry.
nobody's going to contest your video if you're just filming your wife standing at the, the monument or the building or whatever, because again, it's not going to be anywhere. But when you go commercial, meaning you're getting paid for it, then obviously,
mhm.
anybody in that video could say, well, I want compensation as well, or I want to be removed from it or whatever. Vahagan's calling an attorney right now.
But my thing is, Chuck. I think it's the same thing as you doing photos, taking pictures. But if you outside, you filming and stuff, you own that right. So anybody in that background, they can't say nothing.
They can't, Tay, about you just taking the
So
photo. But if you go sell that photo, then anybody in it, I think, has a right for compensation or to
okay,
be removed from it. You own the
okay,
photo. Nobody can take the photo. The law is clear on that.
okay. What about the video? So if somebody in your
Well, that's
video,
a photo.
you
That's
that
just like a photo.
okay, okay.
I guess it's to protect everybody's privacy. Even though you have no privacy in public, but for commercial purposes, you can't be exploited. The photo I took on the street down in New York City, and I ought to pull that up. I had so many people that fell in love with that photo, and he's wearing Beats headphones. It's a perfect Beats commercial or ad, but I have no. I have all rights to the photo, but I have no commercial rights to the photo because I don't have a release. So in other words, I could go to him if I had gone up to him and said, "Can I get a model release for this photo?" Blah blah blah. I can offer him something in compensation, but he could also turn to me and say, "Well, what are you going to do with it?" And I want a percentage of whatever you make on this photo. He would be within his rights to do that.
Yeah, we just never know. I mean, there's a silver lining. There's just it's a little foggy, the
Yep.
law,
Yep.
especially with social media and stuff.
Yep. Completely legal. There you go from Long Rider.
What about if you have a YouTube channel that's monetized?
That's a good question. I guess somebody could actually probably fight that and say, well, you're selling my my likeness because you're showing video that you get compensated for. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's not like you're focusing on them the whole video, They're
Yeah.
in it just a little bit, and I don't know. Something that we need to find. Maybe ask some of those big YouTubers or something.
This is a good point too. You give Instagram permission to use it commercially without your authorization. Yeah,
Well,
I don't know.
remember T-Mid, this video, he said Nikon made him sign a release.
Yes, I had to do the same thing. I shot for anybody that knows Orange County Choppers, Paul Jr. He opened his own shop. I went down to shoot some stuff for him, and I took a photo of his new shop, his showroom, and they wanted to put it in the book that they were going to sell about the shop, and they had to contact me to get a release on that photo to use it. They couldn't just post it, even though I'd given the images to them. But the lawyer wouldn't let them put it in the book without them getting a release from me. So I don't know.
Oh, what happened to Agnetha?
Evidently, Agnetha just decided that he didn't want to play with photography anymore. Somebody was telling me
What?
about it. Yeah. Original creative work. I see that, but what are they saying, Tay?
Yeah,
So
but
they
you
were
know what?
saying, they were saying commercial or a type of artistic performance that qualify as an original work. So,
Okay.
moreover, recording the commercial also creates original artistic work that is represented by the audio and audiovisual master file.
So
Yeah, but you got to watch the source though. Where are you reading that from?
Right. Well, I'm reading from like commercial copywriting.
Yeah.
yeah, the copyright isn't the issue. That's not going to be an issue. It's the right to the photo to
Right.
do what you want to do with it. Look up
Okay.
model release and look what's on in a model release. And then you'll find out because there are levels of use of the photo. People that do that, commercial photographers. I wish Roy was in here. He might be able to help us out with it too. But there are levels of use, and depending on how much publication it's going to get, the price goes up for unlimited use or limited use of the photo or whatever. So, yeah, Greg. Um, uh,
So I'm reading right here too.
yeah. So we can't read that on the screen, buddy. I can't.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good question, Greg. I hope they are, brother. I hope it's actually shipping for you. I hope you get a notice that it's on its way, man, because I know everybody that has ordered gear definitely wants to hear that it's on its way.
I wish I know somebody at the United States Public Library.
Yeah, I hope Mosman gets his, because if he gets his, I'm doing a review.
There you go. There you go. It's nice to have easy access to it.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. Then I have to wait till Nikon send me one. I haven't got one.
Oh man.
Hey.
Man, we've covered the gambit today, but not enough ranting about Nikon. I hope again, Nikon, you're listening. You were in here listening. You heard it from
I'm
not
gonna, I'm
just
gonna
me,
send
but
you
so
an
many
email,
others.
Mr. V. I'm gonna send you an email so you can help me out with Viltrial.
No, yeah. Here's what you do, bro. I'll tell you right now. Go to Viltruck's website.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Go contact. Send him an email. Say
Okay.
here's a link to my video. I do videos like this. I would love to review your lens.
Okay.
You know,
Didn't
send me.
make the third time again.
That's all you do.
Okay.
You know, see what they say. I know Frames
Okay.
asked me to do it, and they wouldn't send it to India for some reason. But you're in the U.S., right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, no problem.
I'll try.
Nah,
I'll try it
Greg.
again for the third time.
Come on, Greg. Be positive. It's going to be this year, man. It's going to happen.
Yes.
Somebody
Send
had
the link.
asked earlier, how's Nikon going to support, getting adding more lenses or whatever? They just came out with another list of discontinued lenses. It doesn't mean all of them are in production at the same time, but it's opening up space for other lenses to be manufactured. And they have a long list now over the last few months of how many lenses they've discontinued. So if anybody's thinking about an F mount lens that you want, you need to go check it out now and see if it's been discontinued. If it has, then you need to figure out whether you want to buy it now or take a chance on it not being available until it's used.
There's
Fuji
so
film
many
TV, the pink teeth.
options. There's so many things coming out these days. It's like hard to keep up, man.
Yep.
Like new cameras. That's why I say this all the time for all the consumers out there. Just buy one brand and stick to it.
Yep.
And just go shoot images, man. That's it. Just go shoot images. Work on your photography, and don't worry about the new lens or new camera.
Tony Northrup in the news again. Says the latest video that Fujifilm cameras give you pink teeth. By the way, I'm not kidding. Is that true, Tay? You shoot Fuji? You give people
No, that's
pink
not
teeth?
true. No.
He probably has it on one of the film simulators.
So
Yeah, he got it. Yep.
so
The
you need to
simulator
jump.
he
You
got.
need to jump over on his channel, brother, and tell him you shoot Fuji, and that's a lie.
Yeah, that's a lie. Unless you using the, like Mr. V said, unless you using the simulator, that's gonna give you that.
Yep. Yeah, you're right, Greg.
I
It
know
is
that's
part of the reason. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, I like my Fuji, man. I got an
I told
XH1.
I told Chuck when the new camera come out, the summer gonna be like May 30 or 31st. So I'm trading in my T3 and my T1 and some of my Fuji lens for that new one. So
Yeah.
I'm waiting. I'm like the kid
Yeah,
at the candy store waiting.
how many videos Simon has today, Chuck?
I haven't seen. I did see one. I think an alert come up that he has another video. I'm not sure, but I think I did see one. I
Man,
wish I
can't-
could edit video that quick like he does.
Well, all
Someone
it
said
is
watching
he's just
too much
talking
Tony
and
give you
he's
green
talking
teeth.
with the thing, teleprompter.
I don't care. I don't care if it's just a blank screen. I need to get off my butt and learn it. To me, it's difficult right now because I haven't mastered it like you guys.
Master what?
Making a video.
Making a video, a
Uh,
simple video. It's still. Go ahead. What are you gonna
I'm
tell
still
me? It's
learning.
easy.
So yes, well, it's easy. It's easy to make the video, but it's hard to get in front of that camera and talking.
Yes.
Let me tell you that. It's easy now. It's easy. It's easy to make the video, but it's hard to talk in front of
Chuck
that camera.
Chuck
What
don't
you
have
want to
problem
say?
with that.
Well,
Not
he
anymore.
good
I
then.
did in the beginning though.
Oh, your very first video you made?
Yeah, well, it was just one or two in, and I had one person in the audience, one person, and I'm just up here
So you should.
rambling on. And the guy
So you
sent me
should be good then.
a comment afterwards, and he said, "You put me to sleep." And I said, "No kidding." My wife said the same thing.
How'd you make this intro? Like the cuts?
Premiere.
Oh, Premiere. Okay.
I use Premiere for my intro,
It's cool. You'll make me an
and
intro.
then I can make you one.
There he
Yes,
is.
boy. I was nervous right there, boy.
Damn, bro, you look like you've done this for years.
No, I was nervous.
Look at you. Look at the body language. Look at that.
I was nervous. And that shoot right there ain't last for like 30 minutes.
What?
Like 30 minutes. That was it. Because she had to go. So I
okay.
snap.
She had to go.
Yeah.
But you're
my
doing a
hat's
good
off
job.
to you guys. Not only you have
But-
to worry about the shoot, but you have to worry about the video going at the same time, man. That's
So
a lot going on.
where I get my videos from is like my inspiration videos is from Ike. So I'm watching Ike videos and taking notes.
What do you have, a gimbal?
My iPhone.
Walking shot.
No.
How'd you get it so smooth?
I put it in on my iPhone 12 Pro Max and AF lock on the model.
I'm with you, Jeff.
So you could put the whole, your iPhone, you could hold it and lock
Who's
on
filming
the
you? Bro?
person.
Who's filming you?
The girl, her friend.
Oh, nice. All right. You're like, hey, here's a camera. Get some B-roll.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
That's
cool,
it.
man.
But Chuck, so I think it's easy for you to talk, and then it might be hard for you making the video.
Look at
Yeah. Yeah. I'll let YouTube take care of making the video for me after the fact.
Yeah.
I was
So I
talking
use
to Hagen
Premiere.
about that last night. I need to start putting a timeline in, so go back and edit the videos and put time marks in it so people know what's going on when. It might generate a few more views when they know I don't have to listen to all this audio trouble up front.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And when you guys come in too, believe it or not, that's a big deal. You have your own followers that would show up and maybe just watch the segment where you guys are in here. So, make it more convenient for people. Nobody wants to sit for 3 hours waiting for something to happen that, that's at the end.
Hey,
What you
read what
what you
Greg said.
edited on, Mr. V?
Hey, look what Greg wrote. Be careful, Vaughan. He will get you for showing his video.
You take him to court, Tay.
Yeah, I'm taking him to court.
I'm promoting you, man.
That's right.
What you edited on, Mr. V?
Premiere. I mean, Final Cut.
Okay.
Yeah, Final Cut.
But that intro,
Copyright.
I did. It's like a template. It's a template, and then you put it in Premiere, and then just put your pictures and edit, and then you you drop it, export to Final Cut.
All right, that's cool. Well, keep it up, man. When's your next video coming out?
When I get a next model.
You
Go
should
ahead and shoot something else.
Yeah,
show
sure.
that dude you can do more.
What's his name? What's his name? Peter? Is it Peter?
McKinnon?
He kind of skinny. What's his name? What's his name? He did a video. What's his name?
Well, you do a video. Show us what Fuji can do other than just a studio portrait.
That's what I'm saying. You should review some. You should show us your cameras or what's in your bag video.
I was thinking about that too, but it's hard to come up with words and stuff, so I might have to write it down.
Be yourself, man. We don't want professional language. That's why people listen to just regular guys out there. They just want to hear, the way you present it.
Okay, I got you.
So Vaughan's been on me for a while now. You need to make videos, and I keep telling him I'm too lazy to actually learn Final Cut Pro, and he's telling me how easy it is. I wish he could get into my head and see how difficult it is for me.
YouTube, your best friend.
Yep. Hey guys, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. I've got I got to go back to filling my dumpster up, but
yeah, no problem. Hey, I hear you, Long Rider. Let's do it.
It's a constant chore here trying to keep up with the house stuff, but I really appreciate everybody being in here. Thanks, Vaughan, for joining. Tay Keys, thank you for joining. Ike, he's out there maybe listening, but I thank him for joining as well. And all the people in the chat that have kept the chat going. I hope Nikon at least listened to the beginning of this. Of course, they're probably not, because I don't have any of the details in the description or anything on this one since I had to reboot it. But yes, Saturday night will be the next. Saturday night, 9 p.m. I have no idea what we'll talk about. Maybe the fallout of my bashing Nikon on their communication. Who knows? But Vaughan, what do you have coming up?
Chris Hirschman on Tuesday. He's a Nikon ambassador. He does video.
Yeah. So yeah, he did the video for the promo of the Z6 or Z7. I can't remember which when it came out. Music video.
Chris Chris Hirschman.
Yep.
Yeah, he's the Z6 video.
His name is Pierre Lambert.
Oh, okay.
This guy.
Yeah, that's the video he did to launch the Z6 or Z7. I can't remember which.
So it should be interesting. Anyway, Chuck, thank you. Tay, nice to see you.
Oh, talking about him.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Well,
I
get
was
out
thinking
there.
about doing like street
Yeah.
stuff.
Get out there and do something with that. You're not going to convince me to go to Fuji when all it can do is shoot in studio. That's all it can
I did
do.
one out. I did 3
An
shoots
outside
outside.
portrait shoot is not. That's no different. No, you got to do something different to convince me.
Okay. What's in your
Yeah,
mind?
yeah. Get your
What's in your mind?
cameras on the desk and start talking about them.
I don't know. Give me something creative with that camera, man. Whether it's photo
Okay.
or video. You know,
Hey, Ronald, he said Quish Hirschman is a bad dude. All right, well, you can join the chat if you want. Anybody can. So just let me know.
hey, just while we're on what's coming up, you guys need to go check out Ronald's portfolio. It's he's definitely a professional. He's an all rounder. He does a lot of different things. So he's a joy to talk to too. One of the things is he's on our side when it comes to some of the things we discuss about supply chain with Nikon and things like that. Um, I need an 800 for outside portraits.
Hey,
Okay.
Ronald, I'll send you the I'll email you the link for Tuesday.
There you go. Have a Z9 at Steeplechase event in Nashville this weekend. Man, I wish I was living down there already. That's where I'm going to be, Ronald. I'd have to link up with you. Have a good time with that shoot. Can't wait to see what you come up with. All right. So, Tay, what do you got coming up next?
Uh,
I know you got to find a model, but you already told us that. Well, maybe this will help you. We'll put it out there.
Well-
Tay's looking for a model.
yeah.
Does it have to be a woman?
So I might. Yeah.
You kind of limiting yourself there, brother.
No, it really don't. But I'll probably do like a street photography stuff.
There you
So-
go. Go out there and do it.
Yeah, that's my next key.
So I'm going to make an excuse. I put all my time into doing these live streams. I don't have time to go out and shoot. That's a lie, but I hope you believe it. Yeah.
So once you go out there, if you just go out there and shoot, just put the camera behind you and then
Yep.
press record. That's it.
There you go. There you go.
You know what I want to shoot? I want to shoot airplanes taking off and landing.
Yeah, that's cool. There's some people
I
that
was
do
thinking
that.
about that too. Yeah.
I saw a guy that traveled around the world to different airports. He'd fly in to take a photo and fly out to the next one.
That's funny.
But how do you got to get some what you call it?
Permission?
Permission and stuff.
I don't know. I'm not
Okay.
sure, but you got to be careful. They might think it's something else with that long lens. Right?
Yeah, that was.
I just threw that in there, Long Rider, because I knew he was going to balk when I asked him that. Does it have to be a woman?
Be a woman, of course.
Go ahead, Bob.
If I do that at the airport, I'm probably going to take the camouflage off my lens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
'Cause they
sure.
might-
Go ahead.
They might think it's like some other shit.
Yeah, an SA-7 or something.
What's that?
Surface to air missile.
Oh, okay. I'm like, what's that?
Sorry, the Army in me. So I got to throw Bambi's quote out. I wrote it down, Bambi Cantrell 2022, because I love this. Beauty is in the eye of the check writer, your checkbook holder. I think it's a great quote. Not in other photographers' critique.
Yep.
Beauty is in the eye of the client. And if they love it, there's no critiques that's going to take that away.
All right. That's a good quote.
Cotton Carrier for event work. All right. Great, Ronald.
I saw two guys using those out and about.
Yep. I have the dual strap, the dual camera strap from Rapid Strap. All right. I can't get away, can I? You guys always drag me back.
Jaspreet will like next week's talk. It's right up his alley.
Yep. He'll enjoy
You're
it
right,
with
Albert.
yeah. Yeah, I haven't been. That's what I was saying, Greg. I have no excuses. I keep harping on people to get out and shoot, and I haven't been myself. I can tell you that I'll get started on it, but that would be a lie. I do need to learn. And Vahagan even gave me a special class on using Final Cut Pro, and I recorded it as we did it. Now I need to go back and watch it and actually do it again. So
It's easy. It's easy. If you don't know what
quit
if you
saying
want
it's
to know
easy.
something,
If it was easy, I wouldn't be saying this.
If you don't know, now you know, right?
Yeah.
that's
We need
right.
an episode
And
devoted to Chuck trying Fuji. Yeah, there you go. There you go.
you two, your best friend, if you don't know about Final Cut Pro now.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm on Flickr, but I'm on the free plan, and they keep telling me they're going to get rid of me because I don't know. I don't care about Flickr anymore. So if they get rid of me, they do. I think it's just Chuck Egan on Flickr. So if you want to go look it up, I got a bunch of photos over there. And by all means, go over there and check them out.
Chuck got him to moving house.
Yeah, that I'd like to. And it'd be one page if I had my way. Open front door, flip match inside, and walk away. That's the best way to move.
You guys seen Frames' latest video? I really enjoyed that.
I did too.
Mm-hmm.
I wish he would do more of that. Those
That
images he
was
had
dope.
that were autofocus,
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool.
Yep.
Daring to post shots like that, but I think it's more of the art, what he's trying to show in the image.
Jaspreet, you need to start sending me links because I'll forget this. So you need to send me links and send me an email with these links of everybody. I'll check them out, man.
It's not, yes, Jasper. It's sometimes not up to us. Sometimes you send them links and they don't respond.
Yep.
If there's no monetary thing involved, they won't do it. So it depends. I've wanted. What's the guy from Fuji? I forget now. Like whatever. I wanted him on, but I can't get him because he just doesn't respond.
Yeah. So, Greg, I wish I could, but as soon as I get off here, which is why I was saying I got to go, I've got to go help tote junk to the dumpster that I have parked in the driveway, decluttering the
There
house.
go your video right there. Take your
You know what? I ought to
video.
do that. Now, how many people, believe it or not, Vaughan was talking about that. People will watch the strangest things on YouTube. Believe it or not, there'll probably be people that would watch that.
Mm-hmm.
And the stupidest things get so many views. It's like so freaking annoying, man. Like you make this video, right? You spend 10 hours editing it. It's so full of information. And then you see somebody else doing some crap and it gets like 20, 30 times more views than yours. It's like,
yeah, it goes viral. Somebody picking their nose in a restaurant or something.
yeah, I guess stupidity sells nowadays, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
All right, guys, I got to go this time. I can see that people are dropping out, but
All right,
again,
y'all.
appreciate you all in
What's
here
up,
as
T-Miz?
guests. I'm sorry. Oh, he always comes in at the last minute. We're going off. That's what's going on.
Right? Congrats, though, by the way.
You got to arrive earlier. I'd send you a link, get you in here. But we've ranted about Nikon and we've talked about legalities when it comes to posting or using photos for commercial purposes and, a variety of things. And you missed it all, man. You missed it all.
Oh, he coming from work.
Evan Raft.
No, not him.
No? Okay. Oh, coming in from work. Well, I can't fault you there, man.
I remember now. Zach Arias.
Zach Arias. Yes, he's been around a long time.
I want Zach, but I don't know, man. I would love to have Zach. Hey, Fuji shooter, Tay.
Yeah, Zach. Yeah,
The
Zach
guy's
Harris.
awesome.
Yeah,
He's
he
good.
dope.
Yeah,
He
he's a
dope.
good dude. He actually got another studio. This has been a while back and opened it up so other people could use it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, I'll
Make it
say
a video out of video, Chuck. There you go. All right, T Mid. Again, sorry, man. I didn't realize you were at work, but yeah, everybody's got to make a living. I forget that sometimes because my living right now is just trying to get rid of this house. And then I got to go to work when I move, but that's okay too.
yeah. Nice seeing
All right, y'all.
everybody,
Rock
though.
and roll.
Not
Yep.
seeing everybody. Timid, welcome and hi, bye.
All
Ray.
right, here you go. Here you go, Vahagan.
Rock and roll.
All right, I'll say it. Rock and roll.
There it is, man. That is the end of the show right there. Rock and roll. All right, guys. Thanks. Have a great rest of the day, rest of the
You
week.
too.
See everybody in here Saturday night. Definitely be in there with Vahagan if he'll have me when he has Mr. Kirshner on or Hirschner Tuesday. Don't forget that. T-Mid, sorry, brother. You have to go back and wade through all the stuff to watch, but do appreciate it. And
Hirschman.
Hirschman, yes.
You said
Hirschman.
Kirshner?
Kirshner or Hirschman?
Hirschman.
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. There'll be a reminder out. I know he's got a reminder coming. So, all right, everybody. Tay, have a great day, buddy. Vahagan, have a great
See
day.
y'all.
Everybody that's in the chat right now, have a great day. See you Saturday night. Let's do it again. All
Rock
right.
and roll.